first Test match in 1903, New Zealand had a very special war cry. It wasn't a haka, and it was woe to the kangaroo. But these guys are golden Wallabies now. And they stood eye to eye as John Williamson, the balladeer, sings about a famous Aussie song. And the benches are going to be so important tonight. Australia won this Test match last year by use of their bench in the last 20 minutes when we had Matt Cobain coming on, David Lyons and Matt Rogers. New Zealand didn't use their bench last year. That's going to be crucial.
Well, I think New Zealand have got a fantastic bench. The young Daniel Carter, he'll be used at some stage. And isn't it great to see the Wallabies accepting the challenge, standing up and facing the haka, taking the challenge. Let's hope they go well tonight.
Over the years, the haka has been something that they've always talked about in the face of adversity. But in this day and age, I think it's a case of whereby the All Blacks use it to psych themselves up, not actually try and put down the opposition. Australia are used to that haka now. It doesn't affect them. They've got to make sure that they do what they've gone out to, and that's cool, calculated and clinical in their approach to this game. During the week, George Gregan had mentioned at length that it wasn't a matter of getting themselves too over enthusiastic, but just to go out there and play the game as they know they have to do it.
Well, we spoke of a few empty seats. They've certainly been filled now, and it's just like a sea of gold here. Tony Stradbury from England is the referee, a 41-year-old from Bath. When he's not blowing his whistle, he enjoys singing as a tenor in the church choir.
Stay behind, please.
Bledisloe 1, 2003, Telstra Stadium underway. And the first touch from the kick-off to Lottie Takiri.
Immediately, the question is asked of these two huge forward backs.
No ball, lads.
Scrum down, All Blacks feed.
Wait for me.
Wallabies need to start well right in the front row.
Stand up, calm down, stand up.
And for Australia to excel in this, they've got to make sure they win the hit.
Stand up.
It's only a half a metre between these two backs, but it's the team that gets over that half a metre the fastest that will win the engagement.
Scrum going down twice on this side. Penalty New Zealand. Jerry Collins on the march. 10 from halfway. And early nerves, lack of composure there from New Zealand.
Well, you'd have to think that that was a bad call from that situation. Opportunity to punch deep into the Wallabies territory.
No locks,
and they had a crack. Just a little error.
Stand up, listen, wait, no.
Interesting to see Jerry Collins running straight at Stephen Larkham.
Mark there. Locks in.
He'll be doing that all night tonight, trying to unnerve Larkham in his first game back.
Come on, give it up.
Well, they've got a bind up on the body, both front rows. Referee not saying too much at this stage.
Okay, that's fine.
Bill Young trying to get that left arm through under Greg Somerville's and up onto his body.
Hold, engage.
Greg Somerville trying to stop him, and he'll be penalised.
Tit for tat. And this is a penalty situation for goal for the Aussies.
And once again it reinforces that you've got to get out of your own territory if you have the opportunity to.
Matthew Burke, he's about 38 metres out and 20 metres in from this broadcast touchline. Let's have a look at the AXA angle here for Matthew Burke. Well, it's about another 16 metres out from where he kicked the winning penalty in the Bledisloe last year, and he's closer in, so you'd say it's an easier kick. The angle just 17 degrees.
Matthew Burke, by his own high standards in his last game, knows that he didn't do well. It will be crucial for him to make sure he gets a good strike of the ball, get the 3 points, get himself into this game.
Well, Matthew Burke is the man who started this Bledisloe domination for Australia. The Wallabies have held it for 5 years in a row. Distance, okay. Not the accuracy. So that was a big let-off for New Zealand.
Not a great start for the Wallabies. Matt Burke didn't strike it that well. Went out to the left-hand side of the post. The Wallabies need to regroup, get the ball back and hold possession for a lot of phases.
During the week, David Giffen had been speaking about how they're going to try and change their tactics around from their last few games. You've seen that right from the kickoff where they did the opposite kickoff, went to the different side to Lottie Takiri. What will they have in store for the rest of this game?
There's half a dozen balls on the field.
Stay behind.
Now we've got one.
So Spencer Well taken by Burke, and here's Takiri.
Tackle away.
Stood his ground well. 10 from halfway. Quick ball for the Aussies. Larkham and Saylor. Rokocoko there.
Stay back. Stay back, wait.
Australia's been turning over a lot of ball out wide. They've done well there. This is Kefu. Almost lost it.
Go on.
George Gregan can see it.
Get away. Get away. Go on, stay back.
But it's a turnover. Marshall.
Run is over.
Rokocoko. Jerry Collins. 7 metres out. Marshall now. That's McCaw.
Away, tackler.
Marshall again now. Here's Spencer. Umanga. Thrown away. They took a wrong option there. Howlett, Muliaina were outside.
Thank you.
Wonderful work by Flatley to cover and then to stop the man coming back straight.
Okay.
He's really concentrating.
Time off.
They put pressure. That's Saylor on the reverse angle. Missed Rokocoko. He picked up Collins inside, but Kefu in cover.
Lovely tackle, Elton Flatley, around the legs, bringing down Umanga. But it was the missed tackle by Wendell Saylor early on that put Australia under immense pressure.
100k plus coming at you flying.
Okay.
Elton Flatley
Time
felt every kilogram of that one. The head will be a little bit shaky at the moment, but he'll come back strong.
Well, Spencer turned the ball inside there with 3 men on the outside. It was an unexpected option, but Australia read it well.
This is the place for great ball.
Wait, stay there.
Regan.
Play on. Hold it.
Nice left foot kick from Matt Rogers. He's got plenty of distance on that one, about 13 from halfway.
Good left foot kick by Matt Rogers. Good to see he's getting the ball out, not giving the All Black back three a chance to attack with the ball.
Everyone reacted instinctively, and that's a good sign.
Give it a space, boys.
Just flicked the ball out when they got into trouble.
That's fine, get up. Stay there, that's fine.
No score on the game, we're in the 6th minute.
Go on, play on, keep stay.
The referee managing it well. Here's Collins again. Taken low there by George Smith.
Get away, wait.
It's on Australia's side of halfway here. That's Somerville.
No hands.
Good clean out by Mialamu. Spencer now with a tester for Matthew Burke. He sizes it. Here's Howlett. Saylor cleans up well.
Wait, stay there.
Bumped into one of his own teammates, but it didn't interfere with the defenders. And now Stephen Larkham as Australia scurries into touch again, but under pressure.
The Kiwis marginal that time. Howlett offside where the kick was taken by Carlos Spencer. Marginal. She puts on a lot of pressure.
An All Black side full of running, Buddha. Gee, they're running well.
So New Zealand dominating the territory in these opening minutes.
Leave him in the air, wait.
Chris Jack at the front. Reuben Thorne came in to rip. Spencer. Umanga out wide. McCaw's with him. Umanga holds on. Well, a host of players out here on the right. Mialamu into David Giffen. Good ball for Marshall. Major takes on Moore and Smith, the two flankers. And Australia's turned it over. So a bonus. And Smith and Moore in concert there. And now Rogers. Here comes Saylor. Saylor now with Flatley in support. Flatley, cannon the hooker. It's 10 metres out for the Wallabies. Big overlap here, Kefu. Burke, yes! What a mighty try by the Wallabies, and it came from Matt Rogers.
Well, what a reply. Listen to this crowd go off. Matt Burke, you're still a hero. Rogers in the 13 jersey. Now is that an unbelievable selection? They didn't know what he was going to do. Umanga had his back to him. Marshall struggled. Rokocoko went inside when Wendell got the ball, but they spread it wide through Gregan and Burke. Go, you good thing.
Wasn't it a beautiful angle by Matt Burke that he came in? Rokocoko juggled the ball. And George Gregan patting them on the back. All came from the great turnover, 60, 70 metres downfield.
Phil Waugh, take a bow. Good work, Eddie Jones. He said bring the two flyers on, and it's worked up early.
Well, it's forced a critical turnover, and now Burke with the chance to make it 7-0. Well, he's not hitting his goal kicks well, but that's one of his better tries. Wallabies 5-0. So the Wallabies getting the ball wide. Saylor and Takiri both getting early touches in the game.
It looked like Wendell Saylor had bombed it and gone too far, had Elton Flatley on his inside shoulder. But Flatley did well. He calmed himself, waited for the support of Cannon to arrive.
And the flying Cannon didn't major feel that. He's bumped him off.
Well, that's inexcusable. The Wallabies allowing that ball to bounce into touch.
And I've got Andy Hayden sitting beside me. Andy, what are your thoughts on the All Black start?
They'll be looking for more effort from Marshall. He's made a couple of crucial mistakes. I'd say they had a very good chance to get themselves into the game earlier on. They've blown that.
So there's Rokocoko winning crucial line-out ball, and Larkham again. And getting a nice piece of that one to the 10-metre line.
Well, he's kicking with the wind, Steve Larkham. It's swirling around here at Telstra Stadium, but it is favouring the Wallabies and favouring this current side of the field.
And in this line-out, Australia are keeping it simple. That's all they need to do. Nothing fancy. Get the ball in, get it out.
Well, here at the front is Jack up against Rokocoko. That'd be a go-to position.
Knock on there by Ali Williams. Couldn't pull in his own line-out throw. Larkham, Rogers again, and Burke's outside. So it's 12 from halfway.
On his feet, you didn't release.
So Australia holding onto the ball on the ground, and that nullifies much of their good start, because this is in very good range for Carlos Spencer.
Doug Howlett right out on this touchline, putting his hand up. He was looking for the opportunity, but it's Ali Williams just failing to secure at the middle of the line-out.
So the Matthew Burke try, the only score of the game so far. Well, it's a magnificent evening here in Sydney. Lightning fast surface and conducive to some great running rugby. Well, Matthew Burke surprisingly off colour with his 2 attempts. Let's see what Carlos Spencer can do.
Well, the wind directly into his face. Needs to keep this ball low and push it over and get the first points on the board for the All Blacks.
His first run-on test against Australia since 1997. No problem with the distance. And he snuck it over. So 2 points the difference.
We spoke earlier about the simple things that Australia have to do if they want to get away with a win in this game. And by one poor call off a kick-off, all the good work they've done for that first try gone out the window. They've lost that advantage. Now is the time they've got to look hard and regain this kick-off.
So Elton Flatley. Flatley playing his 25th Test match tonight for Australia. That one coming down near the 22. Reuben Thorne, the skipper, number 6, just standing off, directing traffic here for Marshall. Spencer. Collins. Again attacking Larkham and Flatley. But the Aussie backs were strong on defence. 22-metre line.
I think the All Blacks are concerned with this wind in their face. They're trying to get out of their own 22 with no success. You see the ball pulling up. Matt Burke, a chance to attack with Takiri.
Takiri over halfway. And the support arrives well. Matthew Burke was actually the man to clean out first. You're hearing a lot of constructive talk from referee Tony Stradbury. Kefu met behind the advantage line. 5 metres behind. Now Smith. He's driven back in the tackle, but almost wriggles free. Gregan. Larkham. Banana kick, a comfortable bounce here for Muliaina. Burke takes him. 35 metres out from the All Black goal line.
Australia need to regroup here and get the defensive line up and keep putting the pressure on the All Blacks.
Spencer again. Larkham has to hair for it. Spectacular. A catch in the outfield.
Go back.
Very crucial one too, because if that had bounced away, the All Blacks had big numbers.
Leave it.
Great recovery by Australia, back there in numbers to look after Larkham and get over the top and blow the All Blacks back out of the way.
Well, they're keen to counter here. Muliaina again. Cannon with a good tackle. Now Jerry Collins. There's no halfback. Hallett comes in. Mialamu. Bill Young getting through some good early defence as well. Marshall. This is Chris Jack.
Get away, tackler.
The All Blacks aren't committing too many to the ruck, 2, 3 and 4. That's all. They've got plenty of numbers to the left-hand side.
Spencer kicks again. Howlett coming through. Burke underneath. And he's allowed to call for the mark inside his 22, and he gets the free kick.
Well, as yet the All Blacks aren't getting the go forward that they need. Forwards aren't getting as far over the advantage line. The kicks are going to hand. And Matthew Burke safe under the ball.
And when the All Black forward pack is stifled and not going forward, what a great kick by Burke.
And great work too by Marshall to keep it in play. So Carlos Spencer again. And that's a beautifully judged kick by King Carlos. From 12 metres out from his goal line, he's taken it over halfway.
Again, though, what it's done is it's kept the pressure on the All Blacks. Marshall needing everything to keep that ball in, and then the pressure directly back on Spencer to make good territory.
So Torai Kefu, the money man again in the line-out. Now something's happened here.
Tuesday Paul.
Obstruction against him, pulling them back. Clearly possession, no problem at all. They're back row run towards it, and you just pull him back. Very silly. Go steady, okay? Okay?
So Dan Vickerman, the man penalised. Australia has possession. Absolutely criminal.
He's nodding, he knows what he's done. It's pretty clear.
Tony Stradbury, the English referee, he'll be talking to the players all night, calling them by their first name, and they'll respect that.
Interestingly enough, we see the All Blacks going for the line. They don't want to go for the points. They want to try and crack Australia, get that psychological advantage in this first half.
Well, apart from Australia's breakout try, New Zealand has dominated the territory. It's been mainly down around this 22 area, between there and the 10-metre line, and New Zealand now in a grand attacking position. Spencer, Major, Spencer on the loop. Howlett's in from the other wing. Rogers stays with him. Richie McCaw, number 7 here. This is Jerry Collins and Spencer again. That's Ali Williams, the big lock, getting involved. Spencer, they're on the run here. Major, almost an intercept. Mialamu, and into touch. Smith was across, so too was Cannon, and George Gregan was overseeing.
Sensational attack and defence equal to the task. They moved the ball from Ali Williams so quickly, and they got width. Look at the cutout. The wing cam down low shows you all the action. Beautiful defence.
Kefu gets another line-out win. That's his third. Now Larkham. They converge quickly, but he still had the presence of mind to judge it to perfection.
Lovely kick from Larkham. Needed to take the pressure off the Wallabies, but now they're back in defensive mode. They need to try and steal this line out from the All Blacks.
Go, give me the space, go.
Kefu's taken up where he left off in the last couple of games, really starting to come into form and showing another unseen dimension to his game and actually jumping for the ball.
Well, it's a tough throw there for Thorne. Smith's harassing, so is Major. Knock back.
Hands away, stay back, leave it.
Regan has it for Australia. Untidy line-out work again from New Zealand. Rogers. Sailor. This is Muliaina, the fullback, who loves to run it back. But there were 4 Wallaby players there waiting for him. Spencer again. Hammett.
Leave it go, free, go back.
Catching him behind the advantage line. Cutting down his options.
Get away. Stay back.
Marshall goes in to big Chris Jack. Good hands from Umunga and Muliaina. Howlett again. Wallaby defence regroups. But New Zealand through Mialamu, the hooker.
He's having an outstanding crack. Kevin Mialamu again denied.
Here's Aaron Major. Spencer's out wide. More outside centre. But look at Brendan Cannon up there on Umunga. In front of the front row forwards.
Gee, the roving commission of these 2 back rows for the Wallabies has been really telling. They've got a high work rate. Great pass, they got good width. Howlett, looking for space, gets hammered by Kefu.
Underneath the ribs, straight to ground. Cannon moving around the field. I didn't think it was a great option from Matt Rogers early on to put the ball to boot to ball, sorry. And, you know, I really think he needs to keep control of the ball and play it down there into the field.
2 points the difference here at Telstra Stadium. Australia in the lead. So we're through the first quarter of the game. Carlos Spencer not having as much go forward ball as he'd like, and the Australian cover is really asking questions of him. Well, what about Carlos Spencer? Let's see how he's handled things so far.
Loves to get width in the play. Spreads the ball wide, and here's the general talking inside and outside and getting the ball wide.
Let that. Thank you. Don't give him shoulders to bind on both of you doing it, right? Let's get on with it.
Tony Spreadbury, the referee, loves to try and push that authority on this front row to get them working. Good pressure from Australia.
Marshall, the pass from Collins wasn't a good one. Muliaina, and they bundle him over the touchline. Again, the execution letting New Zealand down. Nowhere near as crisp as last week.
They don't seem to have that patience that was aplenty. They haven't balanced yet. Came to the side, and the Qantas wing cam again down low.
Marshall with a good pass to Spencer. He's over the advantage line. Major! Spencer on the loop. Rokocoko! He's got the pace! He's a try-scoring machine. The Fijian-born Joe Rokocoko. That's his 8th Test try in only his 5th international.
What a fantastic pass from Carlos Spencer. Took it to the line. That's where the try was made. Took it to the line, you see there. Drew in Elton Flatley. He couldn't do anything about it. And Spencer gets the ball back again. And Wendell Sailor, the second miss. Fantastic try by the All Blacks.
The classic speed of Rokocoko just got outside his man. Wendell, who's likely to start off inside, well positioned. Rokocoko stood him up, then went away. Classic play.
The Australian backline, they were standing there watching. The All Black backline, they've gone left, they've gone right. Major pirouetting in the middle. He's just throwing it to anybody who'd back up, and then they give it to the speedster. Rokocoko. Won't Sailor be wooing that miss? He wanted to make sure head-to-head he was going to put a good game on tonight, and he's just burnt him on the outside.
Well, he still has 3/4 of the game to redeem himself, but New Zealand asked questions of South Africa's defence out wide last week. The Springboks came up well short, and the All Blacks have hit the lead here in Sydney. From touch, no joy. All Blacks 8, Australia 5. So Joe Rokocoko, he's just out of his teens, magnificent athlete, and it's 1 try apiece.
Australia need to get their hands on the ball. They need to get through some phases now. Important that Elton Flatley gets a lot of hang time in this ball, gives these forwards a chance to get the ball back.
Well taken by Chris Jack. So New Zealand having restored confidence after the early setback. Just looking a little more coherent than the Aussies at the moment. Just muscling up and working their way to the 12-metre line.
Defensively, Australia have just got to keep their composure. They've got to keep coming off the line. First foot, get that first couple of metres in. And Spencer, if they keep doing that pressure, Spencer will keep going to the air all night.
Matthew Burke returns. Spencer inside his 22. They can see an opportunity out on the left. Muliaina. And he enjoyed the rarefied air of Pretoria last week, and that sweeping kicking action a la Andrew Johns taking play over halfway.
Good angle. Now it's up to the Wallabies to create play. They've sacrificed territory, but they've really competed well for the ball.
Tore Kepu tapping it down. Cannon having a stormer tonight in the tight forwards for Australia. Stephen Larkham. Here comes Muliaina and Sailor. Oh, you can't do that. Dangerous play. That's a no-brainer, Wendell.
Didn't keep his eye on the ball. All he did was look at the player. You can't take the player when he's off his feet. And you see Wendell Sailor only has his eyes on the player, Muliaina.
He'll go for 10 here. And yes, he has. Frederick's gone to the pocket. He's pulled out the yellow card. And that's exactly what Australia didn't want. Wendell Sailor knows better than that. And that is a big blunder.
So Wendell Sailor, who's been probably Australia's best back attacking-wise in the Bundaberg Rugby Series, blots his copybook. Dangerous play on Muliaina and a big setback for the Wallabies. It's 8-5 New Zealand. The Wallabies a man down.
Wendell Sailor will not be happy with the way he's gone on this so far.
So Big Del is sitting in the sin bin, and by anyone's estimation, he's had a shocker so far, Wendell Sailor, and Muliaina is up and okay, and it's New Zealand with a 3-point advantage and the extra man.
That's a crucial decision for the Wallabies against the Wallabies, especially the All Blacks running into this stiff breeze in the first half. They have a chance now to put more points on the board running into the breeze.
The biggest problem that Wendell Sailor had in that last move was actually he didn't attack the ball in the air. He had plenty of time to get there and actually backed off.
He had a brain explosion. Well taken by Giffen at the front. So Larkham again searching for big meters, almost to the halfway line.
Well, they've been criticised, the Wallabies, for their line-out work, but clearly David Giffen, the line-out leader, just having a chat to Ali Williams and also to Chris Jack, saying, well, how about that one? There's plenty going on out there, I'll tell you. He's given them a gobful on their way back.
So David Giffen jumping at the front here against Williams, and it's pinched by the Wallabies. Bad throw, Mialamu. Gregan to Larkham. Easily taken here by Dougie Howlett. Then to Muliaina with the better angle. Muliaina's brothers, Far and Alisana, who play for West Harbour, in the crowd tonight.
Muliaina making sure the kick went out, but Australia have to look after the ball. They have to give themselves a chance to attack. You can't score tries without the rugby ball.
14 minutes left in this half. Australia have got to pick up the intensity. They've got the wind at their backs. They've got to use it.
And it's probably not with width. The forwards are going to have to step up to the mark.
Australia did well to recover there. Smith and Gregan. Very flat pass to War. Wallabies just a little disorganised from that untidy line-out ball. Larkham standing very deep here. Will he attempt a drop goal? No. A Gary Owen. Here comes Burke. Lost the heads. Muliaina's mate Mialamu is offside.
Well, another brains explosion. That time to pick the ball up in front of the player that last played it. Great kick. And right into the trouble zone. One going back, one going forward. Another one comes from an offside position. Penalty, the Wallabies.
Mind you, if Mialamu didn't take that ball, Australia probably would have scored, so it wasn't a bad option.
It was really, he only had two options, Stephen Larkham, was a field goal or put the ball up high. He only had three players outside of him. Amount of the Wallabies players that were attracted to the ruck, that was his only option.
It's 12 minutes before the end of to half-time. Australia have got to take these chances here. Burke's got to make sure that he gets the 3 points and they chip away. They come back after that, they receive the ball again and they keep the ball, as was mentioned before, keep it in hand, keep getting the points little bit by little bit, chip away and build the pressure on the Blacks.
So this kick for Matthew Burke, almost the spot where he kicked the winning penalty last year. He likes it there, scores a level. All 8 points to Matthew Burke for the Wallabies.
History really shows that when you have a player in the sin bin, the opposition usually puts points on. It's important the Wallabies keep, as Dan said, keep chipping away and keep gaining possession.
And Matthew Burke refused to take a shot at practice yesterday from that spot. Who said he's superstitious? Not
wanting to use up all that good luck, and it worked tonight. There's the man. He's going to come on with 5 minutes to go before the end of half-time, and he'll be wanting to make a redemption.
Here's Kepu. Straight into Ali Williams.
Hands out, Ruck. Hands out.
So breathing space for the Wallabies. Mistake by Mialamu from a very good Larkham high kick. Now he's in a bit of bother, but he wriggled out. Bernie Larkham over the 22. A flash of inspiration. And Elton Flatley. Oh, that's a reassuring kick from him. Down to the 10-metre line. Fantastic relief from Elton Flatley.
Well, that's the bonus of having two fly halves and recognise open field kickers in your team. Larkham took it forward and took it forward well. He got great support when isolated. Nearly turned it over, but War is having an outstanding game and Flatley banged it down into touch.
And that's the Larkham of old. He jinks left, he just gets a little bit of a gap and he's through it and away.
Well, it must have been Mum's honey sponge and Anzac bickies, which were baked by Maureen this morning and delivered to the hotel.
Gordon, where do you get them from? You are amazing.
I think he was waiting at the hotel. But Chris Jack looking back at Kevin Mialamu and saying, come on, mate, give me something I can catch.
You had a very positive game, apart from these licking scrums. Now get it right and wait for me. Time on. Crouching hold. Engage. Keep it up.
So the Australians now playing with a lot more assurance as Flatley makes good metres. Quick ball here for Larkham. He's going to test them again. Muliaina getting plenty of treatment. Here comes Cannon. He took him out in the air. The mark's paid. Cannon took him out while he was in the air, but the referee was happy.
Very close call, but once again the Wallabies not keeping the ball in hand, wanting to keep putting the All Blacks under pressure. Here we see Cannon, same tackle as Wendell Sailor, very lucky to stay on the field.
Shocker, Tony Spreadbury, should have been a penalty in the All Blacks, and Wendell got a yellow card, could have been a second.
And again, they forgot to attack the ball. This hasn't gone out.
Here's Larkham, playing as a second fullback. Muliaina. Spencer calls for it. Rokocoko's out on the left. Spencer gets it over the 22.
Great defence, David Giffen. He hunted that man and kept going after him.
Aaron Major, like Flatley, has that great general kicking skill. Here's Burke. And superb kick from that man, the number 12, Aaron Major for New Zealand. He's only 3 tests in the last 12 months since the Bledisloe due to injury.
And Matt Burke, our former 7 commentator, when he was injured, chipped the ball from the sideline straight into the hands.
Interesting statistic from Stephen Larkham. 10 kicks, 4 passes and only 1 run.
And that's smart play by Larkin, because what he's doing there, he realises he wants to keep the ball down in the All Black territory. Keep the ball in front of his forwards. Again, another great win by Australia at the line-out.
It was David Giffen. Now Lottie Dakiri. Hasn't seen much of it. Marshall underneath. Gregan and Flatley. Larkham is a second receiver here. Trying to drill that one to touch. Muliaina looking to link up with Howlett. Rokocoko's there as well. George Smith hauls him down just short of halfway. Now Marshall.
Wait.
Wallabies sneaking up. Mialamu the hooker. But Brendan Cannon's been standing out in midfield and defence with the flankers. That's McCaw. Better build up from New Zealand. Aaron Major. He beat Noriega. Howlett all the way. Poor defence, Australia. The All Blacks back in the outright lead.
Well, again, Robbie Deans would be delighted with that. Aaron Major, the Crusaders' best. He saw the thing and had a go.
It's about sniffing out the opposition and the front rowers, and Noriega not up to it.
Lovely work from Aaron Major. Drew 2 in at the end to give the ball away to the speedster. And Doug Howlett, he's under the post just before half-time.
Major knew where the gap was. He nearly got through it all himself, but he found Howlett, who's just looking so much for work. Great try under the sticks.
22 tries in 30 test matches. What a strike rate for Dougie Howlett. 13 plays 8. Make it 15. So Wendell Saylor about to come back on the field. And Big Dell.
So far, Australia 13 missed tackles, New Zealand 6, and that is the telling statistic, because when Australia miss tackles, the New Zealanders are putting points on the board.
So well-placed restarts. Marshall now to clean up, working in with Mialamu, who is a former flanker. Gets around the field like one as well, the hooker. Spencer standing just outside the 22. McCaw. War is there with Kefu. They lost ground. Now Spencer. Umanga. Muliaina. Got away from Rogers, and another one for Rokocoko. They won't catch him. It's only Takiri, but it's no contest. Australia exposed horribly out wide. The All Blacks get their 3rd try.
Well, Gordon, you said it before, Wendell's having a shocker, but he still gets wide of the defence. Unbelievably quick, this man, right down the far flank. Great try.
The try was created way back inside the All Blacks 22. The Australian defence was too tight. They didn't have the numbers, and Rokocoko pinned his ears back, little in and away to finish over in the corner for his 2nd one tonight.
How fast is that bloke? I don't think I could beat him in my car.
Well, Dougie Howlett was the national schoolboys sprint champion in New Zealand, but this man is faster than Howlett over 40 metres. Howlett has run 10.7. Rokocoko is quicker than Howlett.
And you understand why for Auckland they were so good. Howlett, Rokocoko, Valnell and Mbatha.
How would Wendell Saylor be feeling? He's standing on the sideline warming up. just about to come back on.
Too many missed tackles again out wide by the Aussies. That's been a real Achilles heel tonight.
I think what the All Blacks are doing, they're attracting the defenders in close at the rucks, and then Spencer's getting some width on his passes, getting them out in front, and it's the Australian defenders are struggling to pick up the players out wide.
So Spencer has pushed it wide. It remains at 20-8 in favour of the All Blacks. Wendell Sailor being called back onto the field. Brilliant finish by Rokocoko.
The old saying for Wendell Sailor, he needs to just get back on the horse.
So 2 tries scored by New Zealand in Sailor's absence. Ali Williams and the All Blacks losing the ball. Australia desperately needs some points before half-time. 3.5 to go. Now Rogers. Pass was knocked down. Sailor. He's going backwards, but now he makes ground. Good work by Sailor. Gregan. Good line for the Wallabies. Larkham. Flatley. Defence covers up well. And Australia loses ahead.
Gee, that was unfortunate that Elton Flatley couldn't get the pass away to his right-hand side. He had 2 players unmarked outside.
Great work. He got it into space, but it was a terrific tackle from Umaga. He just stuck on him. Larkham then tries to pick up and go to the support.
Come on, lads, give it up. Please, mate, up and square and straight in. Come on.
Terrific tackle there by big Chris Jack, who's so mobile for a big man. New Zealand scrum feed. 2.5 before the half-time break.
Good scrum by Australia, good wheeling scrum and pressure on the All Blacks.
Wallabies looking stunned at the moment, as is the vast crowd of over 80,000. Dominated by gold scarves. Holding on in the tackle. And it's within penalty range for Matthew Burke.
Excellent work by Phil Waugh. You could see just inside the little ferret, he was off, he's still on his feet. Good vision there, leaning over the ball. He hadn't gone to ground and trying to reef it back. The referee Spreadbury in excellent position and a penalty well worth it.
Well, the Wendell Sailor sin binning proving a disaster on the scoreboard for the Wallabies, but they can peg back 3 here and make it reasonably respectable, closing on half-time at 20-11, a 9-point deficit. But Burke's got to get it. Let's have a look at the AXA angle. And it's about 31 degrees. And he's on, or just beyond, the 22. So this is a huge kick for Matthew Burke and the Wallaby team, but has been set back on its heels by the brilliant outside backs of New Zealand. A timely reply. 9 points the difference. We're now into injury time.
That shows you how much respect George Gregan has for the All Blacks. Normally he'd kick for the corner and go for the 7 points, but Australia need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. The 3 points just before half-time, very important.
Well, the twin playmakers, Carlos Spencer and Aaron Major, really causing major headaches for the Wallaby defence. This is Vickerman, and he's taken in a bear hug there by Ali Williams. Rogers. Doug Howlett underneath, but Rogers gaining big ground. They play on quickly to Spencer. They're looking to counter here. Bill Young and Phil Waugh coming up. Mistake by Muliaina. Rokocoko, who scored 2 tries tonight for New Zealand. Flicked on by Spencer to Williams. Offside play Australia. Playing advantage here. Well, they'll try and have a dip. See if they can increase this lead.
Australia must keep composure. They must keep this defence rock solid. The All Blacks will throw it around.
Australia looking tired. Now Howlett to Keary. Didn't put him to ground. Brendan Cannon does.
Isn't he having a whale of a game in defence?
But Australia looking disorganised in defence. Mialamu. New Zealand stalking for a bonus point try.
6 offside.
And some very tired Wallaby players.
And the All Blacks kept the ball in hand, kept probing, and they got exactly what they were after. A penalty within kicking range right on half-time.
There we saw Lottie Takiri, George Smith penalised for that, but Lottie Takiri bounced off the tackle of Doug Howlett, let him go, and that's where the All Blacks got the advantage, got in behind the advantage line of Australia and keep putting them under pressure, and then maintaining the ball.
Well, there were some very tired Australian players. They were looking for somewhere to lie down as New Zealand kept it alive. Some very deep breaths being taken by the Wallaby forwards.
The first 20 minutes, Australia worked on their defence, and it was something that they were able to keep putting pressure on the All Blacks. The second 20 minutes is where they've let themselves down. If they don't have defence, which has been poor in the second 20 minutes, they're not going to be in this race.
Well, this will be a killer blow to the solar plexus of the Wallaby. 20 plays 11. Spencer's pretty happy. So are the touch judges. And it's all New Zealand. And it's all Kiwi wingers. Rokocoko and Howlett. 3 tries between them. 23-11 at the break. So David Giffen and Carlos Spencer to get proceedings underway. 23 plays 11. Shell-shocked Wallaby team in that first 40 minutes. 3 tries to 1. Wendell Saylor in the sin bin. The All Blacks ran in 2. And Carlos Spencer with the restart. And a big mountain to climb in this second half for the Wallabies. Well taken there by Vickerman. And now George Gregan. Wallabies going wide.
Good option there by Matt Burke. 1 pass wide off the ruck. They need to get the ball down the other end of the field, but they're running into a pretty stiff breeze.
This is going to be hard for the Wallabies in the 37 tests they've played since the last Rugby World Cup. Whenever they led at half-time, they've won them all. Whenever they've trailed at 17 times, they've only won 3. This will be difficult. Only 60% of the possession the All Blacks have. The Wallabies have missed 17 tackles.
And that line-out giant, Phil Ward, pitches another one. Here's Rogers. He's well wrapped up, though, in midfield. George Gregan now, looking for some quick ball for Larkham. But as we've seen so often, Larkham's having to kick out from defence. And the chance now for New Zealand to take it back towards halfway. Stephen Larkham, 12 from halfway. Rokocoko in front. Well read by Marshall. And Muliaina again. Larkham and Gregan, the Brumbies teammates, in concert. Going forward, no maul. Fair call there by the referee. Not happy.
He has been very fair, Tony Spreadbury. He's spoken to them quickly. I was concerned about him being up with play, but he's been right there.
Well, his next door neighbour is Ed Morrison, who refereed the World Cup final in 1995.
That'd be interesting cups of coffee, wouldn't it?
In between whistle blowing and singing.
I'd hate to be the other neighbour.
Matthew Burke. Again, Australia kicking it straight back to New Zealand, who can punch here, but Burke did superbly. Spencer wants it. Jack. Gregan. That was a poor attempt to tackle by George Gregan as Jack makes 20 metres. Offside play by the Australians. Somerville cleaning out Vickerman.
And he towelled him on the short side as well.
Again, missed tackles. Australia cannot afford to have missed tackles. They're letting the All Blacks get in behind, get a roll on. Vickerman trying to clean the ball out, rightly so, with Marshall having his hands on it, but then Somerville coming in, seeing the body there, looking for the cheap shot.
Interesting decision this. He's choosing not to go for the post. They're choosing to keep the pressure on. They will protect this lead.
Well, they will remember the very tired faces of the Aussies before the half-time break. Australia's had a very physical preparation for this game. It's lightened off in the latter stages, but New Zealand really wanting to take on the Wallabies. Up front first, and they've certainly done it out wide.
The All Black back spread right across the width of the field.
This is Major. Rokocoko. Look at the speed. Muliaina. Well, the Wallabies have really looked pretty ordinary out wide.
And again, they're spread across the field.
This is Ali Williams. Phil Waugh trying to pinch it.
Leave it.
Marshall comes in. Well, the referee said leave it alone. But the Wallabies were like a kid in the candy store.
Well, gee, the All Blacks, they really know how to play. They know their game plan. You can see every player knows where to go. If you're not needed at the ruck, they're giving Carlos Spencer options wide and close.
So it's 23-11 in favour of New Zealand.
New Zealand will chip away. Smart work by Carlos Spencer, just getting it down into the Australian line, making sure he can then go for the points.
So Carlos Spencer. Eight points so far. 2 penalties and a conversion. And all the tries coming from Rokocoko 2 and Howlett 1. This for a 15-point margin. Not a problem for the All Blacks. Carlos just limping a little, slightly inconvenienced. Ben Darwin looks as though he's going to be replacing Noriega.
This is Ben Darwin's opportunity. Much has been said about Pardo Noriega playing a 50-50 role. Everybody in the rugby community knows Noriega can play a lot better than he has, and this is the opportunity that Darwin gets to show his wares and stay as the #1 prop in the team.
So Flatley's restart to Williams on the 22. But New Zealand under no pressure with that restart. And Spencer now. Hurried kick, good pressure. Matthew Burke. Saylor wants his hands on the ball. Takiri's out here. Great pass from Saylor, but a brilliant tackle from Umaga. And offside play there by New Zealand. Referee not playing advantage. You can see the All Black player wasn't bound there as he came through. Larkham tries to bulldoze. Now Waugh. Build up. Patience needed here from the Aussies. Kefu.
This is better by Australia, building phases, making the All Blacks make tackles.
But they can't go one out. They must have support.
Gregan. Misunderstanding sums up Australia's night so far.
And the All Blacks would love it. At the moment, they're just watching the mistakes happen in front of them. George Gregan thinking that the man will stay on the outside, and he just looks in abject disgust. Palpable feelings.
So New Zealand's had major problems in their line-out. Smith comes through on Jack, and that's a shocker from Marshall. But Aaron Major there to steady the ship. So plenty of mistakes coming from the All Blacks, but Australia hasn't been able to capitalise.
You talked how well Flatley was playing that second 5'8" role, but Major's quintessential performance against the Springboks, and again here showing how well he is in his team.
So well taken there by David Giffen. Flatley now, and Kefu. He was punished in midfield. Gregan and Larkham looking to create some space for Burke. 10 from halfway. That's Ben Darwin. Reuben Thorne underneath. George Smith, huge tackle there by Mialamu. Sailor's thrown a wild pass infield, but a scrum ball for the men in gold.
This is where Australia have got to get that composure back. George Gregan, Todai Kefu have got to bring their men in. We see George Smith throwing the ball behind him, giving it to a man who's in a worse position, and then Wendell Sailor flicking it out the back to nobody. Australia can't afford to do this. They've got to get that composure back.
Here's Smith. Spotted the gap to Gregan. It's Sailor. Same haircut, slightly taller. Flatley. And Takiri now. New Zealand haul him in. But it's on. Kiwi side of halfway. Rogers will lose him. Straight to Howlett. And here they go. Jack's out here. So is Hewitt. And what about the left foot kick? Oh my goodness! Centimetres inside the corner post. Takiri saying it went touching goal, but it didn't, you know.
But here it came, all came from the pass from Rogers, a one-handed speculator around the corner. You can't do that, you must control the ball, and then a left-footed kick that just ended up 1 metre inside the post.
Watch it creep inside. Pressure on the Wallabies, incredible pressure on them. The All Blacks will contest.
That's Bickerman at the back. Wallabies on their heels here. And Larkham with a hurried clearance. No touch. Rokocoko. Spencer wants it. Out wide is Muliaina and Dougie Howlett as well. New Zealand counter. Muliaina and Umaga. Lovely step. Another one. And a bonus point. It's turning into a massacre here at Telstra Stadium.
What an outstanding All Black try. They want to run with the ball. You can see the smiles on their faces. Umaga, Rokocoko, 30-metre pass. Spencer, a 30-metre pass. Muliaina, just a little left-handed flick back inside to Umaga, who stands up George Smith.
The understanding that the All Black outside backs have is in complete contrast to how the Wallabies are performing out wide. They have the understanding and they have the penetration.
Well, we can only admire the skill, the flair, the pace of this New Zealand back division. Umaga absolutely superb there, but it was Spencer who wanted to really run it back at the Aussies from a kick that didn't get the touch. 4 tries to 1. And now Spencer with a chance to increase the margin to 22. The Kiwis are playing 7-a-side rugby in the backs from broken play, embarrassing Australia's defence as Spencer raises the flags. 33 plays 11. So Latham's on for Matthew Burke. And a significant replacement for Australia, but it's Matthew Burke departing, and not the happiest nights for the number 15, but Chris Latham now, hopefully to inject something for the Australians who aren't in the contest at 33-11. It's all New Zealand here in Sydney. And Spencer looking for the touch.
And this is that relentless procession forward. A smile of Carlos Spencer just tells it all. They're comfortable, they're cruising. The pressure on the Wallabies.
He has complete control at the moment, Carlos Spencer. Australia now, we will see what intestinal fortitude this team has. Had they got enough guts to be able to tough it out and come back?
Halfway line, New Zealand hold their line-out ball. Aaron Major. Spencer on the loop. Controlled support from the number 10. And Latham now. but he just put a foot on the touchline. Probably just as well, because the kick went infield and New Zealand would have counted again.
Great to see Latham on the field, but he had his foot out before he even kicked the ball.
Good opportunity for Chris Latham. He's got some time now to show what his attacking skills are about. With the game just about gone, as you see Carlos Spencer coming off the field, he's done the job that was asked of him.
Daniel Carter is on for New Zealand, the exciting youngster from the Crusaders, for his third test match as Kefu goes over the 10-metre line.
Spencer has a heavily strapped hamstring. It may have been that's let him down. But what a game.
Here's Rogers. He's beaten 4, 5, 7. What a run by Rogers. Finally, Marshall brings him to ground. Ben Darwin. Hewitt was the tackler. Larkham calls for it. What can the Aussies do here? Flatly taken a little high. Around the collar. Phil Waugh's out here. Playing advantage. Darwin again. New Zealand just relaxing here. Australia coming back. Larkham. Lovely work by Larkham. Final pass doesn't go to ground, but the try's on here for the Wallabies. Touch judge will be in here for the high tackle.
Better continuity by the Wallabies. Better phases. Elton Flatty, you see, taken high here by Daniel Carter. Tony Spreadbury played a long advantage. But the Wallabies playing with more width and getting across the advantage line.
Well, it was a high tackle, but it wasn't malicious. And just a penalty. Let's, I think a yellow card would be very harsh here. That he's going for it.
Well, that's a tough call. As you said, it wasn't malicious. It was just actually grabbing him as he went past.
Take advantage. Please go steady. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, he was just
foxing,
tricking us. He's a poker player.
That's a beautiful piece of playing.
He must have had an itch in that pocket there, Buddha.
Yeah, just a great time. The look on Daniel Carter's face said it all. Oh, no.
What do you think of the new All Black outfit there Daniel Carter's wearing at the moment? With that, he looks a little bit more like he should be on the New Zealand bobsled team.
The well-performed New Zealand bobsled team. Here's Vickerman.
Sharp into it. He's replaced Vickerman.
So Sharp took that ball and Kefu crashes there into McCaw. Gregan now. Wallabies looking for their second try. Rogers. Umaga wrapped him up.
Let go.
Chris Latham was in there as well. And Australia not releasing.
Well, I think they've worked out very quickly, Tim Horan, that Matt Rogers doesn't pass the ball often.
No, he's their most lethal weapon, but he needs to open his eyes and look for his support out wide. He's made some great breaks tonight, but the defence of the All Blacks as they kick long in behind Wendell Sailor.
Well, it's certainly caution to the wind for the Australians. And clever play by Larkham. Now he's got to drop it inside the touchline, but the kick wasn't his best. Jerry Collins, Muliaina calls for it. Umanga's outside him. And here's Lottie Takiri. That's probably one of New Zealand's worst kicks tonight. Takiri goes himself. Here's Gregan. Australia keeping it alive here. Latham went without it. Lost it in contact. Referee plays advantage.
No fullback for the Wallabies. Someone must get back there.
It's just deteriorating for the men in goal at the moment. Hewitt. Latham's back into position. 33 plays 11. The All Blacks in total command here. Carter. They gaff him again, and it's another try. Australia's being humiliated here in the Bledisloe Cup at Telstra Stadium.
Well, Daniel Carter, lucky to be on the field. Thought he was going to be in the sin bin 2 minutes earlier. Throws a lovely dummy. Here's Chris Latham. Umaga just knocks the ball out of his hands. And from this play, the All Blacks went left-hand side. Lovely wide ball by Marshall. Carter just showed and went. Had the pace, and Chris Latham gave up the chase, and the All Blacks over again.
The Wallabies had 1,000 in cover. Carter showed it, ball in 2 hands. He returns it to 2 and dummies. Straightens clear path to the try. They're having a picnic, the Blacks.
Matt Rogers looking to outside Carter, not taking his man. He's let him slip on the inside. Fatal mistake. Coming across in cover was Todai Kefu, but he didn't have enough speed to be able to catch him. Easy pickings for Carter.
All the young players watching at home, the young rugby players, the way that Daniel Carter ran with the ball in 2 hands is very difficult to defend against. Didn't tuck it under one arm, only when he went to dive for the try line. He kept it in 2 hands all the way.
Carter just hitting the upright. 38-11. It's a 1-act affair in this second half.
Well, will Australia be absolutely demoralised here, or will they start showing some ticker?
Well, New Zealand have shown what they can do on a hard, dry field. They've had a lot of wet weather across the Tasman for the earlier test matches, but in South Africa last week and here in Sydney, they have relished the going, and they have blitzed Australia out wide. Some very poor defence by the outside backs in this Wallaby team.
Well, the Wallabies need to use the ball now. The game's pretty much gone. They have to get something out of the game. George Gregan really has to show his leadership skills now and make sure that they've got a game in a week's time and they get confidence out of the next few minutes in the match.
But they've got to make sure they don't do what they just did a minute ago, and that's throw the ball around willy-nilly. If they throw it around with no purpose, then the All Blacks will pounce, and then they will hit Australia hard and they will rack up a big score.
Gregan and Sailor. Lovely running by Sailor, and what a step. He'll get his try here. Big Wendell. Yes! That's a brilliant try to Sailor. And some consolation pickings for the Wallabies.
He worked so beautifully off the ruck. First up, hit, broke, used his jig. And look how proudly he's walking. He wasn't going so well early, but this is superb.
Missed tackle there by Reuben Thorne, first up. And Sailor's power over the top there of Muliaina.
As we see here on the Qantas wing cam, the exact same move that Wendell Sailor scored in Melbourne against England. And he wanted this try. He wanted to get back on the horse. Still a lot of work for the Wallabies to do.
And Wendell will be very happy because the man he stepped was the man who breezed past him earlier in the game. So Rokocoko is still up there, but Wendell is starting to claw his way back.
So 20 minutes to go in the game. And it's now Elton Flatley with the kicking duties as Matthew Burke has departed. So the players coming out early. There's no charge this time. They came out prematurely. If you do that, they just the second time got to stand their ground. So less pressure for Flatley, or will it distract him?
You wonder whether he should have gone back to the start of his routine.
I was going to say the same thing, Buddha. I thought he should have, like a golfer, reset the tee and gone again.
Last week, New Zealand playing South Africa. Wendell, he didn't worry about trying to do the second sidestep, did he? He did the Maori sidestep. He gave the New Zealanders a little bit back. But can he give them a little bit more before this game is over? Last week we saw New Zealand blow away South Africa, and everybody thought, well, South Africa mustn't have played well. But we've seen here tonight so far how good New Zealand are actually playing.
Todai Kepu then to Larkham. And Australia taking play up towards halfway. Gaining only 20 metres or so. Can the Wallabies mount a resurgence in this last quarter of the game? commanding All Black team. 5 tries to 2, 38 plays 16.
Let's go, come on.
Case Muse is on the field at the back. Who wants it? Phil Waugh does. Kefu. Nice step from him. New Zealand just starting to fall off a few tackles now. And that's Nathan Sharp. Gregan. Larkham. Back inside to Saylor. He's met front on there by Justin Marshall. Smith. Wallabies starting to play some of their best football now, when the match is seemingly all over, but they still would be thinking they have some hope with 20 minutes to go. Tries are needed. Larkham. That's Darwin.
Australia playing a completely different style of rugby to New Zealand. Australia in first, second, third and fourth phase, you can nearly throw a blanket over them. New Zealand completely different. Every time the first, second and third phase, you don't know what they're going to do. They're spread right across the field, and that's the difference. That's where the danger comes.
Brad Thorne and Owen Finnegan prowling the touchline. I think Thorne will get on shortly. Gregan gets into space and tries he may to get that ball across his body to support that would have been blocked anyway. But he looks up to see the referee give a penalty.
Hauled down there by big Case Muse as Gregan looks across to say, who was that?
It's important for the Wallabies now and George Gregan to lead his side. With 17 minutes remaining in the match, they must go for another 2 tries to look for that bonus point.
And psychologically as well, okay, they had a good first 20 minutes. The second 20 minutes in the first half was where they let their bundle down. But this is where, if they can't come back and actually get a win, psychologically they've got to go away from this game going, yes, we did have a bad 20 minutes, but we're coming back into it.
Well, they've had a dreadful middle 40 minutes, Australia. New Zealand leading 38-11 at one point. 38-16, 22 points the margin. Giffen did well. Here's Gregan. And now Larkham. Latham. They work it short side again for Sharp. Case Muse getting through some very good tackling since he's been on the field. Larkham again. And Flatley. Phil Waugh. Referee spotted some offside play. Smith. Australia needs 5 points, not 3. And Gregan takes the soft option there.
I'm a little bit confused about Australia's structure at the moment. They've just had 5 or 6 phases of play, and every time they've run back into where the thickest amount of defence of the Kiwis are.
Exactly right, Dan. And they're frightened to move it wide. I think the All Blacks have them spooked with the pace they're showing and the cover.
16 minutes to go. Glum Australian coach's bench.
That is not a happy look.
So Kefu at the front. Here's Larkham. Flatley running into the thick of the All Black midfield defence. Now Kefu. He's caught behind the advantage line. Gregan to Takiri. Howlett comfortably. Back to the 22.
What the All Blacks are doing well in defence, they're only committing 2 or 3 players to the breakdown, which is allowing their defensive line to get width and come up with pace.
Great ball, quick hands, slipped in behind, but Lottie Takiri wasn't on the fly.
So here's Larkham. Almost through, but Mialamu stayed with him. He went over halfway. So All Blacks offside out on this blind area. Gregan. That's Nathan Sharp. Good work here for Waugh. Pick and drive in close. Still one-dimensional though. Here's Kefu. Gregan. Suddenly they're finding the holes on either side of the ruck. No halfback here. Kefu comes in. He muscles another 3 or 4 metres. Here they go for Larkham. Rogers standing up Umaga. Well caught from behind though by Major. Larkham again. Larkham, where's the support? Lost the heads by the Aussies, just 8 metres out.
Let go! Wait.
Need to be careful of a breakout here.
Advantage over. Not full advantage.
Carter heaves it downfield to Latham, who needs some support.
And look
he's
at the
got
wall
none.
of black.
Black. Leave it black.
Good clean out by Saylor. Takiri now with a chance. He backs himself, but good defence by Hewitt.
Well, the
10 metre line.
The All Blacks now are not reacting. They're sitting on their lead. They must keep moving up in defence, and they've caused a turnover.
Darwin isolated, moved in quickly to pick up.
Didn't release, but he stopped as well.
Then got right out. It was Bill Young, I think. Bill Young or Ben Darwin.
It's very one-dimensional from the Australians. Just one out running.
Steve Larkin
Very
who went through Justin Marshall. Just hang on. Stephen Larkin waiting for his support. Where are you? I want to offload.
Number 6 goal.
But as you mentioned, it's one-dimensional stuff.
38-16, New Zealand. So Owen Finnegan's on for George Smith. Aussies running even more changes now. George Smith has departed. Owen Finnegan's on. Brendan Cannon's off to the blood bin.
And
And Adam Fryer on.
It'll need to be Fryer coming on Cole to mark up against Kevin Mialamu.
Well taken by Jack. Mialamu. This is Major who's gone into fly half. And Jerry Collins straight into Larkham. Comfortable ground gained here for New Zealand. Ruben Thorpe and obstruction. The Aussies grateful for small mercies here.
Well, since Spencer has gone off the field, they've lacked a bit of momentum, the All Blacks. Ruben Thorne cuts through Finnegan and then belts Elton flat on.
I think the All Blacks are keen to get off the pitch, get into the nice warm showers. But the Wallabies here, they need to create something. They need to use the width on the field and create something special.
Everybody's been talking about Rogers, Takiri and Saylor. Australia just got to get the ball to them with a bit of space.
Again, a loose throw, but they've cleaned up well. Marty Holler did it, and he's held it. Latham in front, the only Wallaby. And a grand covering tackle there by Chris Latham.
Fantastic tackle, Chris Latham. Showed him the sideline like he did to Jason Robinson a couple of years ago in the British Lions. And this time, shows him the sideline. And
very brave effort, as you say, Tim, to give this man 5 metres. And Howlett backed himself. Desperate lunging tackle by Chris Latham. Well done.
Geez, he only just got him though.
You only have to just get them. Steve Kefu on for Elton Flatley.
So Australia's hold on the Bledisloe Cup, brittle at best at the moment. New Zealand will have to win the return clash in Auckland. They've won this match here in Sydney. And it's Carter, Muliaina, and a hat-trick for Rokocoko. That's rubbing it in. The mother of all hidings here for the Wallabies, equaling New Zealand's highest ever score against Australia in Test rugby.
well, what can you say about Rokocoko? Here we see New Zealand win the ball at the line out and come down with the ball, but they had too much space, too much width, put a decoy play on, and Wendell Saylor had to come in on the second last player, which then allowed Rokocoko over in the corner.
This try-scoring machine, successive hat-tricks, and they did it easy with that width and the pace we've been talking about all night. Not even the new Wallaby combination on could stop it.
But it's also the deft handling skills, the precision of the New Zealand backline. He scored 3 tries against the French. He scored 10 now in 5 test matches. The Nandi speed machine. Proudly New Zealand.
They make it look so easy, don't they? Beautiful hands across the back line.
Daniel Carter. And pushing it wide, it's 43-16.
Well, massive changes.
Stephen Larkham with the restart. Well taken by the Australians. David Giffen there. Here's Larkham. And Steve Kefu on the field now. Sailor. Umaga drove him backwards. Gregan looking to work it to Larkham, but sharp. And just too predictable from the Australians. Sleight of hand from Gregan. 10-metre line. New Zealand territory.
Still advantage for the Wallabies. They need to use the ball, and now they get the penalty.
Again, Australia is staying and doing the same thing. They've realised it's not working, but they keep ramming their head into the same wall. They've got to look at doing something different.
And just slowing it down and killing it, okay? I will use the card, talk to you. Time off.
Carney Spreadbury there, laying the law down.
The score now has a very similar resemblance to 1996 Wellington. And Australia have to fight back in the final few minutes of this Test match.
Except that was incredibly wet conditions, and this is fast and dry, and both seem to suit the All Blacks. The following week, after defeats like that, the Wallabies hit back.
So the attendance and I'd query that figure, 62,000. I think it probably should be 82.
There aren't too many empty seats out there tonight, Gordon.
So Adam Fryer and Nathan Sharp in the middle. Larkham charging onto this ball. Here's Sailor again. Major stayed with him. Finnegan supported. Can Australia finish off? Larkham, Kefu, Brad Thorne. Finnegan burrows in. Here's Larkham. Takiri presents it nicely here for David Giffen. Sailor going nowhere.
Australia trying to probe, but again, New Zealand up to the task.
Carlos Spencer, well, absolutely dynamic as the playmaker, perhaps carrying a slight injury into the game and confirming the attendance at 82,096.
Carlos Spencer having a whale of a game tonight. You give him an inch and he takes a mile, and he took 2 miles tonight. Can Australia salvage some pride in the dying minutes of this game?
And as we thought, 82,000+ people watching this. Big percentage of Wallaby supporters disappointed, but some very happy All Blacks in the crowd.
Australia needs 4 tries. Finnegan stumbles over there. 4 tries for the bonus point. They've got to get 2 in the last 6 minutes. Not impossible. Here's Kefu and Chris Latham. Again, well taken by Aaron Major. Here's Larkham. Almost cut in 2. Gregan and Finnegan. Look at the strength of Jerry Collins. Australia really running out of ideas here. Phil Waugh. But they've still got to just maintain possession. The try will come. Sharp.
Again, Australia probing and probing. One side, they've got 6, 7, maybe 8 players lined up against the same amount of All Blacks. On the opposite side, there is absolutely no All Blacks at all, but they're not throwing the ball to that side and running to it. For some reason, Larkham's vision just isn't there tonight. Brennan Cannon back on from the blood bin, replacing Fryer.
Now, to sum up exactly what you're saying, Dan, the one-dimensional play of the Aussies, they have won the second half ruck and more by 58-10.
I wonder whether this makes another change in the Wallaby backline combination for the game against South Africa at Suncorp Stadium next week. Eddie Jones, the pressure will come on him to get a combination, or will he settle and see if they can hit it out, tough it out.
New Zealand scrum demolishes the Wallaby eights, and that really rubs nose of the Wallaby team into the Telstra Stadium turf.
And Chris Jack is giving back the gobful he got from David Giffen. What did you think about that one, Case Muse? Very powerful.
And what about the wry smile on the face of Greg Somerville sitting in the stand on the bench? He enjoyed it too.
That just sums up the Australian night tonight. They just haven't had, mentally they haven't been there. The big question is for Eddie Jones, has he made the right substitution? Has he picked the right players for this team? And who will he pick next week?
Here's Latham then. Wallabies back there to support him. Finnegan, Cannon, Larkham goes left. Looking to size up Case Muse. To Kiri. Got the pass away to Rogers. Rogers away. Try number 3 to the Aussies as the league converts in concert. It was a great offload there by Lockie Takiri.
Australia have 3 minutes, 45 seconds left to be able to get another try. Finally, they throw the ball. Finally, we have vision by Larkham. Great pass off the ground. Rogers in the perfect position on that occasion. We finally have seen the speed that he has got to be able to go around Howlett. But Larkham, shaped to go one way, saw the hole, went the other. Takiri hasn't had much of the ball tonight, but when he got it on that occasion, he was able to flick it up off the ground just as he was going around, and Rogers in the perfect position to go over in the corner.
So Matt Rogers is a brilliant runner. The question has to be asked, is he an outside centre, or should he be on the wing or at fullback? Axer angle here. And it's a very acute one for Elton Flatley, and he's got injured players just off to his right-hand side, which is going to interrupt his concentration. It's going to be Matt Rogers, in fact, who's attempting this one. Doug Howlett, he's been a hero tonight. One of 4 tries scored by the All Black wingers. Probably just a bit of crap. He's been doing so much running. 2.5 minutes remaining. Margin at 22 points. Just hasn't been Australia's night. It's been a blitzkrieg by this New Zealand team. Matt Rogers getting his 3rd test try.
2.5 minutes to go. Australia can't take their eye off it. It is so important for this tournament that Australia get the bonus point. They must receive the ball. They must not kick it away. They must retain it. They don't need penalties. They need a try.
Australia's Bledisloe domination appears to be in tatters. 43-21. It's going to take a monumental comeback in Auckland. Marty Holler takes it ahead. This is Brad Thorne. New Zealand looking for another try for their highest ever score against the Wallabies. Can they bring up a half century? A converted try would do it. Is it coming? Steve Devine out on the wing.
Probably the wrong bloke to be there. Not enough oomph.
Jerry Collins taken to ground by Darwin. No rubbish.
Rokocoko over on the wing is salivating at the moment to get this ball.
Can he get 4 tries, Rokocoko? Look at the stepping from Major. And a half century coming up here for the All Blacks. That completes the humiliation.
And how's that for you? In the exact same place, Torai Kevu reached out and broke New Zealand hearts in 2001. Aaron Major does exactly the same. Look at him. Step, step, step over.
Well, psychologically, Major may have broken the hearts and the minds of the Australians, but it's the minds that are the more important part, taking them to within reach of the 50 points. He's gone through 2 Australians. There was nothing much Cannon could do at that stage. He did what he had to do and try and hold on to him, but he's put the big reach in.
The 26th of July 2003, the night the All Blacks put 50 on the world champion Wallabies with a record score, 50 points to 21. It wasn't a game, it was a shame for the Aussies. They have been smashed here by this rampant New Zealand team, who have run in 7 tries, 4 of those coming in the second half.
Passion involved in that. Haka, as we look at the concluding stages of it once again, Jerry Collins right here in the foreground. And the challenge has certainly been laid down tonight. As we look at tonight's referee, Jonathan Kaplan from South Africa, David McHugh of Ireland, Ian Ramage from Scotland will run the touch, and the television match official, Roy Maybank of England. Chris Jack, and just a quick comment before we get going from Murray Mexted.
Well, it's the emotion of the haka, I think, that's the remarkable thing. It's not only a great opportunity for the All Blacks to pull themselves right together, closely, in unison, but the emotion of the thing that it sort of sets off a test match. Great way to start.
And a man on the touchline tonight, former All Black Matthew Cooper. Perfect conditions, Matt.
Conditions fine, Nisbo. The ground a little bit slippery on top, but other than that, the breeze is a very light breeze favouring the All Blacks. That won't be too much to contend with, but the atmosphere down here is electric.
Right, the Bledisloe Cup is at stake. It's been with the Wallabies since 1998. Jonathan Kaplan, a last look at the watch. The nerves are tingling as Kaplan says, let's go, and the kickoff is made. Umaga high for the All Blacks, might have lost it forward, but the Wallabies have it, and it goes to Torai Kefu, who's been under such a cloud all week, and the Wallabies have an early touch. George Smith goes straight up the middle, stolen away by Marshall, and the All Blacks line up. Spencer puts the kick in, bounces off Rogers, hacked ahead here by Larkham. Back goes Collins, looks a little bit greasy, the ball, as Collins can't control it, and there's a penalty. The All Blacks have gone down over the ball and have been penalised in a kickable position.
Oh, the grubber kick. The grubber kick. My father used to call them a testicle kick because most of them end up as the ball's up, and that one certainly did. George Smith made the initial break, lost the ball, and Marshall answered back. Quick pass, and this is the problem. Boom. That's what happens with a grubber kick. Body's in the way. It can happen. Jerry Collins tried to cover. Missed it. Chris Jack did all that he could. All Blacks desperate to try and retrieve the situation, but guys killing the ball was the call. Penalty. First opportunity Australia, minute into the game.
So it's Elton Flatley. Any number of goal kickers in this Australian team, but Flatley is the man who will do the job early in this match. Just a light breeze in the face of Elton Flatley. But early indications, Matt, that it might be just a little bit greasy on top.
And both teams have shown the grubber is the option, and as Murray said, if it gets knocked down by the opposition player, it puts you under pressure. But it's just that ball on the ground, very hard to control for the team that's trying to recover.
First kick from Flatley, it's a beauty, straight down the middle, and the Wallabies have drawn first blood and lead by 3-0.
What a start, Australia. Exactly what they needed. Now, of course, these guys will be desperate to secure this ball and get back out of their territory. So the kick's paramount.
David Giffen waits in the green headgear. Confusion, and Giffen, you can see that coming. He managed to get it back though, and did so rather cleverly as Gregan clears it out to Flatley, and he makes good contact, Elton Flatley, as it goes down towards the 10-metre line, and the first line out of the match.
Well, here's an example of the nerves or the crowd noise perhaps. And Giffen couldn't hear the call of the player coming forward, should have right of way in that situation.
First throw tonight for Kevin Mialamu, gets the call from Dave Hewitt. Jack Williams, and it is Williams, who did so well in the lineouts at Dunedin last week. Ali Williams, first test match on his home ground here at Eden Park. Here comes an early bomb. Spencer giving Latham something to think about. Major bearing down, but it's comfortable enough for Latham, and he quickly takes it and sends it off downfield. Muliaina in good possession, just on the All Black side of halfway. Gets the call from Spencer, heaves it out to Williams, as the All Blacks looking to be expansive early on. Now Marshall, taken up by Mialamu, has that ability to get through tackles. Marshall quickly carries it on. Chance here for the All Blacks, just crowding towards the touchline a little, and Muliaina takes it near the 22. It's there again for Justin Marshall. The All Blacks tactics obvious. Look at them coming up, a yellow wave as they flew up at the All Blacks, giving them no room whatsoever. Marshall digs it out again. Spencer, a little kick, but Larkham looks to have covered this, and he does well.
Well, it was brilliantly read by Larkin, because the Wallaby line was completely flat. 15 men across the field, not one person back at fullback, and Spencer spotted it. Larkin spotted Spencer spotting it.
Beautifully read, of course. He's a former fullback, Stephen Larkham, and safely into touch.
Early sign from the All Blacks that they are willing to throw the ball around, as we see the Spencer kick just in behind, and a wonderful catch here from Steve Larkham. But good signs for the All Blacks, throwing the ball around even in these wet conditions.
Yeah, although, Matthew, I was surprised to see Muliaina pass it immediately to Spencer, and Spencer straight to Ali Williams. 50 metres for no advantage, really.
Mialamu lobs it in. It's not a good throw, though. Referee's got the arm up the Australian way. Larkham is going to kick. Hasn't kicked well, really, in this series. Again, he manages to find Muliaina. They look to counter-attack from the back. Muliaina got through. Now McCaw, he's got some support. Didn't see Collins just to his right, and the All Blacks set it again. Now Marshall away for Spencer. Long one out to Mialamu. Howlett wants to join it. Mialamu away to Doug Howlett. That's a brilliant try.
Well, those expressions on Doug Howlett's faces, unadulterated ecstasy, the sensation of the try. There's nothing better.
The Aussies haven't learned from Sydney. They kicked it straight to Muliaina. That's what started it, and just watch it from here.
Incredible. When Muliaina answers back by running it back, that's where the challenge starts, because it straightens up the defence and opens up holes like this one. Well, Kevin Mialamu, that's why he's been picked
Very
he just
interesting
seems to find gaps. He's a hooker who can find a gap like a back.
Very interesting to see
And
how
then can offload.
easily Miliaina went round Matt Rogers there, and that was the problem at Telstra Stadium in Sydney 3 or 4 weeks ago, was the way that they manipulated Wendell Saylor and also Matt Rogers. So a great start there for Miliaina, taking the ball back.
Carlos Spencer, 100% kicking record last week. First one tonight, and he's nailed it. Wonderful reply by the All Blacks. It all started from that poor kick by Larkham. Muliaina broke a couple of tackles. Support came from McCaw, and the All Blacks simply built it up from there. Great work by Mia Lamu. The little offload which sent Doug Howlett in.
Well, it was a great pass too by Major.
Back we go, and it's in the arms of Phil Ward for the Wallabies. Gregan gets it off to Larkham. Larkham saw a gap, very nearly got through. He's got Kepu in support, just out from the 22. You get the feeling this is going to be a memorable game of rugby already, with just 7.5 minutes gone in the match. Oh, Cannon is absolutely thumped by Jack and by Collins. That would have hurt. Now Larkham again, looking to sneak through. Mia Lamu has to drag him down in a good tackle. Regan's going to go blindside. But this time it's Ali Williams. The tackling is quite superb. Here comes Smith.
Oh, this is going to be a game and a half, no doubt about it.
Now it's Larkham again. Marshall gets in there to spoil it. There's no beg your pardons in the tackling department. The All Blacks are coming up to meet them, and there's going to be some sore bodies.
Well, when there's impact like that, then little mistakes come. It's just a matter of time, and the abrasiveness of the tackling, the defensive line, all of them to a man.
First scrum, Murray, Australia ball.
Australian square, get the bind up, crouch and hold.
So we can have a look on this side of the scrum where Greg Somerville is up against Bill Young.
And I think the All Blacks will have a real crack at Australia in the scrums. And this is the first scrum.
Not talking again, don't shift out.
A lot of psychology, of course, scrum time. It's man on man, but it's pack on pack.
Let's go again.
So, of course, the job of Bill Young is to hold that side of the scrum up so that his hooker can see the ball.
Crouch and hold.
And Somerville's bending him down. Hard for a hooker to strike when he can't see when it's coming.
Right, this time, Gregan off to Flatley.
Leave it there.
Rogers in there with him. Now Gregan goes short to Smith.
Same again.
And we're back in exactly the same position for yet another scrum.
Well, Jonathan Kaplan, important part of this game.
There's your mark.
Likes to let the game go. Must enjoy rugby for rugby's sake, which is fantastic.
Hold. Bind up 3.
Better Australian scrum. Kefu flings it wide to Larkham. Here comes Takiri. Powerful run by Lottie Takiri. Now the ball pops back for Gregan. Up comes Smith. Doesn't make a lot of progress. Away goes Gregan again. Now Rogers tries to go past Umaga, who takes him well. 10 metres out from the All Black line. Kefu back for Gregan. Looked to be a forward pass. Not called though. And Vickerman takes it to the setup. Now Gregan. Probing at the All Black defence. Number 8 on number 8 as Collins takes Kefu. Gregan. Now Saylor. Oh, he's burst out of a couple, Saylor. Still going. Just a couple of metres short. Now Gregan knocked it on. No penalty.
Coming from the side, 4.
Against Chris Jack.
Number 4 from the side.
Well, barrage of attack from Australia, breaking the line. Wendell Saylor getting through. It looked like a try would be scored. It was held up by New Zealand. And then
Go away, go away, go away!
Chris Jack was judged to be offside.
No one can talk.
Let's have a little look at it. There's Chris Jack on his hands and knees. Well, I can't see how he can be offside, quite frankly. He said number 4, his knees are behind the goal line.
Powerful run here by Wendell Saylor. And it was good enough to get him almost to the line. There was no Australians in support. Had there been, they might have driven him over at that point. Now, it surely can't have been Chris Jack that he's talking about.
No, I think it was Chris Jack. I think what he was saying is Chris Jack didn't retreat behind the last man's foot before he came in to play the ball.
Very interesting, the Wallabies using Lottie Takiri from first phase outside Stephen Larkham to attack the channel around Carlos Spencer to try and get over that advantage line.
And the other thing, Matthew, is they seem to be attacking too wide of the ruck and maul as well, using Kefu as a sort of a decoy.
Flatley kicks his second penalty goal, and it's a one-pointer, 7-6.
So possession is paramount. Both teams know it. They're so potent in attack, both these sides, that the team that wins that possession battle, I think, will win the game. At the moment, it's 64% Australia.
Spencer looking to get enough height into this for the All Blacks to arrive. Ball lost by the Wallabies, and they lost it forward as well. There it is for Justin Marshall. Drop kick from Aaron Major, and the referee will take the advantage. Major decided that it was advantage, so we'll give the 3 a go.
So New Zealand scrum beautifully placed.
There's your mark.
So will they split both sides?
No locks, no ball.
They are, indeed. And in fact, we've got Miliaina right behind
Don't shift.
Marshall.
First All Black scrum has Collins feeding it off to Major. Muliaina looking to get on the outside, flipped it back to Howlett. Clever pass. Howlett still has it. Taken in by the All Blacks now. Marshall. Spencer lobs it out to Hewitt in centre field.
Same way.
Keep going to the left. Back inside now, Muliaina. Marshall once more as the All Blacks hammer away. Back to Chris Jack this time. And the ball turned over. Lost forward. So the advantage applies once again. And the Wallabies will get the advantage of the long kick by Rogers. Matt Rogers.
Well, good refereeing from Jonathan Kaplan. He was playing the advantage to Australia. The moment it was kicked 30, 40 metres, he called the advantage over. Well, that's where it was lost. Dave Hewitt and Chris Jack together.
Just over gold, 5, 4. Stay out.
Kevin Mialamu hasn't used Chris Jack as yet, and he's not going to this time either. In fact, he's again overthrown it.
Yeah, definitely overthrown and stolen. That's ball Australia.
That's a couple now. There's Larkham not kicking as far this time. Saylor is up there to try and tip it back in field. Major's got it though. Just for a moment there, it opened up for Aaron Major, and this is a very clever kick. Not much can be done here. Oh, that's excellent play by Larkham. And he tries to keep it in. Now the crowd on the far side is saying that was out on the full, but I think he was inside the 22 when he kicked it.
Take a step.
Larkham did well. Rokocoko should have got him. A lesson for the lad.
Inside the 22 when he kicked it. Now let's have a look at these lineouts. Hasn't been a good start. Again, it's not a good effort. Stolen away by Giffen. That's 3 now. And so far they haven't used Chris Jack, which is surprising. So Larkham heaves it wide to Carey, and he's met head on. Solid tackle by Umaga. Ball pops out. It's there with George Gregan. Now Larkham. Rokocoko going back. Got Muliaina on his inside. First instinct would be to attack, but there's no real attacking opportunity. And so Muliaina drills it for the far touchline.
Well, he had 10 metres to move. He had 10 metres. but he's inside his 22, I guess, at this stage. Prudent.
So here's the first line-out throw tonight for Brendan Cannon, and it's not too flash either. Here's Cannon delivering the pass off to Larkham. Sailor on the inside, and the ball lost forward.
Free kick for numbers, 4-5.
But he was playing advantage, Jonathan Kaplan.
Really using the Australian wingers, both Wendell Sailor and Lottie Takiri, a lot early in the game, just to try and get over the gain line from that first phase.
Scrum goal ball.
Quite a smart tactic, really, because they're their most physical players. Both wingers, big boys, about 6'3".
Also interesting, Murray, that they're putting a lot of heat on Joe Rokocoko's wing with the high ball as well.
Careful off the back, stumbles. Oh, great work by the New Zealanders forwards. Spencer straight out from Major to Howlett. And Howlett's kick will drift into touch. But some wonderful work. Probably Richie McCaw as Kefu stumbled.
Yes, a little bit of bad communication with Gregan there, I think. Yes, things not going Kefu's way so far.
Both line-out throwers, both hookers, have looked a bit shaky on the throw. And that's not too flash either, but it somehow falls on the Australian side. For Gregan. Larkham. No real depth in this kick. Rokocoko and Sailor together. Rokocoko comes up with it.
Leave it, both of you.
Now Marshall. Spencer. Change of direction, but Latham's read it all right. Howlett coming smartly. Oh, he's dropped it. No, hang on.
Choice 14 ahead of the kicker.
He's got him for offside.
14 ahead of the kicker. 14 ahead of the kicker.
Well, Rokocoko came up trumps on the high ball. Where is he? Well, she's marginal, but there could have been two of them maybe if you had your protractor out.
Being tested under the high ball tonight, Joe Rokocoko. Came up trumps that time. Touchdown chose the flag up. Interesting call, that.
Well, that was the earlier replay of the try that wasn't. So it couldn't have been a better kick for Latham.
So here goes the throw from Cannon. This time he does get it right. Gregan away for Larkham. Now it's Flatley. Aggressive defence by the All Blacks. Gregan bending down, can't get it. They're going to have to reset it again, the Wallabies. Cannon does so. Now it's with George. Smith spots a gap. Smith straight ahead.
Run away!
Just 5 metres out. Now it goes for Larkham. Larkham has a go at Major. He holds firm. All Blacks, as Regan reaches out, the All Blacks penalised.
I'll talk to you now. Just take a step.
There's a few burbles in there. Not that they mean a great deal.
Just go. I'll tell you now. Just take him back. Time. That's the second infringement close to your line for a player coming in from the side. The third one will get a bin. Never was onside. Never was onside.
Yes, well, that is the second one. It was like the Chris Jack penalty originally. Ruben Thorne's response was, but hey, the ref, the ball was out. But you've still got to be in an onside position to attack the ball when it pops out. Yeah, although they all looked like they were behind the last man's feet, didn't they? On that angle, which isn't a great angle, I must admit.
Real scramble going on. George Smith made a very good run here, and the All Blacks had to stop him, and it carried on from there. The upshot of it is another penalty and another shot at goal for Elton Flatley.
And the reason we're down here once again is the pressure on the All Black line out on our own throw. About 3 or 4 throws already that the All Blacks are once again under pressure.
Four penalties against the All Blacks tonight, none against Australia. And of those 4, Flatley's been able to kick at goal 3 of them. He's kicking well. That's another one. And the Wallabies hit the lead by 9-7.
And they're sitting still at about 63% possession. New Zealand have only won 1 line out. Australia have won 6. And 3 of those have been on New Zealand's throw.
Rain starting to fall. Well, we might get the odd shower. The All Blacks with plenty to think about. The penalty count against them 4-0. The lineouts not working well. Spencer. Again, it'll be Giffen. This time he's pushed it just a little bit too far as Carlos Spencer. And it's comfortable for the Wallabies. Away it goes to the left boot of Matt Rogers. That's a very good strike. Muliaina thinks about the quick throw, but it was never really on.
So New Zealand line out, this will be really interesting. No throws yet to Chris Jack, which is really surprising. He came on as an impact player last week and dominated immediately. You'd have to think this would go to Jack.
Number 5.
Now they've gone down the back to Williams. Jack takes the pass from Williams. Now Marshall gets it off to Collins. Drags Larkham over the halfway line. Now it's Thorne. As the rain continues to fall at Eden Park. Marshall. Spencer kicks again. Howlett roaring onto this, and it's an awkward one for Takiri, but he's done well and he's called for the mark. Difficult over his shoulder, but he did it well.
Well, he did it well. That's 3 kicks really that have landed easily for Australia, though.
This one lands in Muliaina's arms. Looking to spread it wide as quickly as possible. Marshall puts it onto his left boot. Larkham's read it well. Larkham covering behind a couple of times tonight. Spencer doing the same thing for the All Blacks. Again, he winds up and sends it off to Muliaina. Plenty of room to move, Muliaina. And this is a game of chess. And it's off the side of the boot from Chris Latham. So I suppose in the great wash-up, the All Blacks won that little kicking duel.
Yes, the counter-attack, of course, it's decision-making, isn't it? When is the time to have a crack? Or when is it the time to kick it back tactically? Muliaina's so dangerous when he runs it back. But, of course, you've got to have support. Numbers.
This time they go to Chris Jack. First time tonight.
Yeah, but it was well contested, Australia.
Trapped in there. Collins has it.
Where is it?
Who had to get himself back on side.
Great defence.
Marshall to Spencer. Back inside to Major. Out goes the arm penalty coming. First penalty tonight for the All Blacks.
The ruck was formed.
Taken 25 minutes for Australia to get a penalty against them.
It's all right. It's all right. That's the mark. Go back, please. Back 10, please. Yes.
So attack is fast and furious. Big tackle. Yeah, that was almost turned over. So close to being turned over. And of course, Marshall appealing to the referee because the player on the ground, Phil Ward, was on the ground.
Spencer drifts away to the left, so he misses his first one tonight. after the 100% record in Dunedin, and Australia maintain their 2-point lead.
Yes, he looked very casual and relaxed. He was saying that during the week, in fact, that he was happy to be relaxed when he was kicking.
Looked as though he allowed for that wind that was coming across the field slightly, and tried to allow for it to bring it back around, but it fortunately went straight as the way that he directed it.
Wobbly kick by Flatley. Sits up for Spencer. Here comes Collins on the charge. What a sight that is. War hangs on and does well to tip him up. Marshall back for McCaw. Now Marshall. Spencer. Takiri's read this well. Gets support from Latham. 10-metre line, Australian territory.
Can leave it black. That's fine. Ball had to be out.
Brilliant work by Collins, just walked over the top. Now the chase is on. Howlett's got too much speed for Flatley. Howlett again.
Well, it was always going to be a Howlett day when it's second 5'8" against the winger. The kick was on the button.
Well, there's a turnover there from Jerry Collins, and the All Blacks to show you how lethal they are on turnover ball. This time, the clever kick from Spencer, and just too much gas from the All Black winger, Doug Howlett.
Well, there have been so many kicks, though, haven't been recovered. Almost all, I think, been handed to the opposition, and that one worked.
Yeah, he really held back on that one, Murray. He leant back. He didn't put as much effort into it. Knew it was going to be a foot race between Howlett and Elton Flatley, and the speed of Howlett, too much.
Another test try to Doug Howlett, his 24th. Fourth against the Wallabies. And the first All Black to score 2 tries against Australia at Eden Park in all those test matches. Here's Spencer's kick. Off the post.
Well, she's a funny old game. New Zealand have kicked the ball 20 times and recovered once. And that was it.
This is what blinding speed is all about. Elton Flatley did his best, but Doug Howlett is so quick. So the All Blacks back in front. Seesaw game, 12-9. Flatley. Mialamu waits.
Leave it gold. Hold that.
Just over 10 minutes to go till half-time. Spencer unleashes a big one. Takiri waiting just out from the 22.
Good counter-attack opportunity.
All Blacks coming up pretty flat, though. Oh, big driving tackle by Williams. Looking to drive the Wallabies back. It's there. Regan gets the call from Rogers. Sounded like it might have come off an All Black.
Great kick.
Let's see what the touch judge thinks. Nope.
There's not a thing he could have done but kick the ball like he did then. Yes, well, Lottie Takiri decided to counter-attack, but he didn't really have a plan. He just ran straight into the defence, which was equal. He had to really draw and feed.
Mialamu's had his problems fighting the jumpers. He gets it right this time, though. Williams. Here goes Marshall. Bit of a slap round the head from George Smith. Nothing really there, though. Here's Somerville. Marshall. Plenty of room for Spencer. Again, the little kick. He's dropped this one in cleverly. Anything could happen here, but it sits up again for Takiri. Big tackle by McCaw. Here he goes again, McCaw, and he's got him again.
Leave it black.
Gregan. Larkham looking on the inside. This time Jack has to make a tackle. Almost to the halfway line with George Gregan once more. Larkham again looks on the inside.
Hold it black.
But forced to take it himself this time. Oh, driven off the ball. Looks like they'll get it back though, the Wallabies. Knocked on by the All Blacks, so there's advantage there.
George Smith did well.
Short pass. Cannon. Crashing into Reuben Thorne. Larkin puts his foot down. Boy, there's some tackling in this match.
Oh, they don't get any bigger than this.
Regan through the hands of Smith. Now it's with Wendell Saylor. He's upended. Still moving it though, the Wallabies. Down it goes to Muliaina. Looking to open up. Chased and taken. All Blacks though should get this back. Doug Howlett. Oh, here we go. Howlett with all sorts of support. He's trying to work out which way to go. He's got it to Reuben Thorne. Couldn't quite get the pass back inside. And now it's with Umaga. Near the 22-metre line. Ball lost. Now it's a turnover. Wallabies on the counter-attack. Kefu puts his boot to it. Nobody chasing though. Muliaina could have a cup of tea. They're nowhere near him. And his kick is not going to find touch either.
So it's still on.
Latham just out from the 22. Plenty of kicking. Some of it good, some of it not so good. This isn't too bad. Marshall got away from Latham though. Now there's more room. Howlett probably didn't notice the room.
No, I don't think he should have kicked that one.
He had black jerseys left and right, and that wasn't great judgment from Doug Howlett.
Well, it's full on excitement. Absolutely intense. The level of attack, the level of defence, it's huge.
The skill level too, Murray. Outstanding skill level from both teams, but the All Black defence, absolutely ruthless.
Yeah, dead right, Matthew. Absolutely correct. It's gang tackling in some respects, but the Australians are recovering the ball, even in that intensity. This is a magnificent contest.
Less than 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Quick throw. Mialamu gets it back. Mialamu scoops away, gets away from Gregan inside the 22. 15-metre run from Kevin Mialamu sets the All Blacks up. Spencer rips it across. Collins looking for the gap. Just near the 22, ball loose. Kefu scrapping for it.
Australian ball.
And there's a knock on, and it's by the Wallabies.
Well, it was a great tackle on Jerry Collins. It probably had to be flicked on. Kevin Mialamu from the front of the line out. Quick thinking it was. This is where it was finished. New Zealand short of numbers there. That's where it was lost.
Yep. Crouch and hold.
So, good attacking position. 23 metres.
Crouch and hold. Staying square.
One player on the blind side, Rokocoko.
At the back. Heads lower than
Collins
hips.
is going to tap from the free kick, and away goes Collins. Backs his way in.
Run away! Advantage!
Ball loose, it's an advantage, so Spencer thinks about a drop kick, thinking about the advantage at the same time. Spencer still standing. Now it's Muliaina. Now up the middle goes McCaw, and no advantage at all. So the penalty right out in front of the posts.
Brilliant play, Carlos Spencer. Lovely stepping, holding the ball, great vision. And the Wallabies up offside.
Well, if this is any indication of the World Cup coming up, we're in for a huge year, because these two teams are going to be right up there. There is no doubt about it. Just the quality, the power, the pace, the teamwork. All those people that thought this Australian side wasn't at the crest, at the top, they'll be thinking again. In fact, I was one of them. I thought they'd dropped off peak, but they're not. They're back there. The eyes have it.
So Spencer kicks the penalty goal, and the All Blacks now have a 6-point lead.
And possession, interesting. 54% Australia, so New Zealand coming back in that area.
Around about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. What a half it's been. 2 tries to the All Blacks. Williams lining this up. Oh, he hooked it back beautifully. Good hands from Mialamu. It was awkward. Got up and went again. Marshall is going to make the kick this time. Takiri.
Too long again.
Yep, just overcooked it. So Takiri, he's got Latham there. Thorne goes to make the tackle. In the end, it's Major.
Leave it 7.
Who has to put Takiri to ground.
All out.
Gregan for Kefu. The All Black tackling has been an absolute feature of this first half.
But the support play of the Australians has been great too in the tackle situation.
All Blacks, Tana Umaga in there.
This has been...
Get on side 7.
Good work by Vickerman though, driving on. Now Gregan. No! Sailor. Flying at him as McCaw. Just tipped him up.
Get on sides.
Now they go inside All Black territory and Gregan gets it off to Smith. Looking for the gap. Another good tackle. This time it's Williams. And the All Blacks will take the advantage, take the scrum. And the days of the tight forwards not having to make too many tackles are long gone.
They certainly have. In fact, I've been really impressed with Williams' tackling. That's another one. He dislodged the ball at the same time.
Let's go. The bind up.
Yes, you've got to be multi-skilled today in every position.
Don't shift. Don't shift.
There's no room for this, just the scrummaging tight forward.
Engage. Don't shift. 1. At the back, moving to the side, to the left-hand side. Let's play.
Free kick again, so Marshall takes off, gives it away to Collins. Oh, beautiful pass. Slipped it off to Major. Major jabs the kick forward for Rokocoko. Look at the pace. And Chris Latham, that's all he could do.
I'm not sure, though, whether it was the right thing to do, the kick.
All Blacks take it quickly.
Your choice.
But what do we got here? Jonathan Kaplan is coming in the 15 metres.
Have a look at Jerry Collins here. He drops his shoulder, slips and offloads. Outstanding. Major's got a gap here. He's got 2 men outside him. He chose the kick. It was perfect kick. But I just wondered whether he should have kept it in hand with his support.
Problems for Australia. Glenn Panaho coming off the field. Debut for Alistair Baxter, number 17 for the Wallabies.
Well, what a debut for a prop to come on. Alistair Baxter.
And the same to you. From the side.
Well, big call here.
Ooh.
Not sure whether the Panaho problem is terminal or whether it's a blood bin.
Square and steady.
Not sure about the call either. Got a bit confused there.
So Al Baxter gets on the field before half-time.
Clarification for you, Nisbo. Substitution.
Straight out sub.
So Panaho was dragged. Well, he's had a couple of years in the wilderness, really, hasn't he? And he came in, I guess, because Noriega was injured. So he came in to do a job, perhaps for a period of time, so that Al Baxter wouldn't have a whole...
Moving forward, line out target on that occasion. All Blacks looking to finish the first half strongly. They've only got a few seconds left. Still 10 out from the 22 as Marshall gives it to Spencer. Now Major trying to crash his way through in centre field.
With a certain amount of success.
On the inside to Rokocoko.
Roll away 7.
Sounds like the siren went and all the din as Spencer takes it. Now it's with Mialamu.
Roll away 7.
All Blacks building up nicely. Major. Oh, he's so good on his feet. Slips the pass to McCaw. Thumps in over the top. Now they're inside the 22. Marshall stays blindside with Collins.
Yeah, but great defence, Australia. They loaded it.
Still got a bit of work to do, though, as it's with Williams. Now Spencer hands it back to Major.
Leave it 7.
Right in centre field, 20 metres short. Marshall on the inside to Jack. couldn't deliver the pass.
Onside.
Now it's with Williams, who's had a big first half. Mia Lamu.
He's isolated.
Wallabies desperately holding on here just before half-time. Marshall goes again, slips it back to McCaw. Here's Marshall once more, head down, 5 metres short. Dave Hewitt.
Just relentless, 13 phases.
On the side.
He's got a penalty.
Advantage Black.
Playing the advantage is Justin Marshall. Looking to deliver.
Wasn't he just?
Can't do so as yet. Now they have another crack. Close.
Ooh, must be close.
Oh dear. Jonathan Kaplan not quite there. Not sure that the All Blacks are celebrating.
No, I don't know. Because,
oh, yes, they are. I think they do feel like they've scored.
Well, this is crucial, you know. 15-9 half-time could turn it into 22-9. Remember, the half-time Hooters gone. Oh, that's a try. Ooh. I reckon that's a try. I reckon that's downward pressure. Here's my call.
I think he got it too. I think it's a try.
Oh, did he have control? Did he have control?
Of course not. No control at all. But you've got to have downward pressure. Do you have to have control as well?
I don't think downward pressure appears in the law book anymore, to be honest. I don't know whether he's got control over that. Anyway, let's see what Roy Maybank of England reckons.
Is there time for the kick for penalty goal?
Well, the other question is, if it's not a try, is the advantage over? Yeah. Do they go back to the penalty?
Yep, good question.
Okay, can you give me the call?
He must be going back to the penalty, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
That means that I've given up on the try. Oh, the brain does funny things, doesn't it, really?
And you can see that, no control it. No, he can't control it, I understand that. But we know.
Yeah.
I thought they had the advantage too, but he's going back to it.
George Gregan just giving the referee a little bit of advice there.
Sorry, Roy, could you just repeat that? Did he lose it forward? Okay. All right, thanks. Okay. So it's the penalty for coming in from the side.
So he's playing the advantage.
10 coming in from the side.
Well,
no try. He didn't have control over it, Chris Jack.
Can you just give me the time,
so
please?
So I think the All Blacks will have a shot at goal to bring down the curtain on the first half.
Well, they have a shot at goal, having a good old chat.
There's no time for a line-out.
No time for a line. They've been told, so they've got no option. Well, I don't think they were going to have a kick. I think they were going to go for something. They realised that they've got the foot on the throat and they wanted to finish it. And I'd be exactly the same.
Outstanding passage of play from the All Blacks that built up to that disallowed try. The ruthlessness, the driving, the pick and goes, all those key things about All Black rugby, those traditions of All Black rugby were really evident in that last passage of play.
Everything we expected of this first half. 40 minutes. George Gregan's team haven't been able to get over the All Black line. All Black defence has been quite superb. There's the Bledisloe Cup.
It's a hell of a cup.
It's got a bit of a...
It's a big drink.
But a bit more, better look to it than the one next door, hasn't it, in terms of size, we'll put it that way.
Right, so here's Carlos Spencer.
He's missed it.
Just away to the left. So he's missed a couple in the first half, Carlos Spencer, but the All Blacks came up with a couple of tries by Doug Howlett. And they lead at the break here at Eden Park by 15-9. Both Prime Ministers in attendance here at Eden Park tonight, Helen Clark and to her left, to our right, John Howard. And they've watched a magnificent first half of Bledisloe Cup rugby, 15 points to 9. And the Wallabies, who took such a hammering in Sydney just 3 weeks ago, have been mightily competitive in this game. They've conceded a couple of tries, but they're still in it, very much in it, at half-time.
Yes, and that's a great tribute to them, isn't it? That they can absorb the pressure and the tries and still be in the game. Kicks are important. I think that Flatley hasn't missed a kick yet, and Spencer's missed a couple of penalties and a conversion.
So Matthew Burke is on the field. Wendell Saylor limped from the field at half-time. That might be the end of Saylor for the night.
And from the sideline, that looks as though that is the change. It's Matthew Burke on, number 22, and no sign of Wendell Saylor at this stage. No, he's definitely off. He's just coming through with a bad limp. Look as though it might be a groin or a thigh injury.
So 2 changes now in the Australian lineup. A straight-out substitution just before half-time when Glenn Panaho was taken out of the game. Alistair Baxter came in. Now we've got Matthew Burke in for Wendell Saylor.
Lottie Takiri on the left wing. Matt Rogers appears to have looked as though he's moved back at the fullback at this stage.
Yeah, surely they won't put...
Here's the kickoff, second half as Spencer. Down it goes to Kefu, and the All Blacks drive him to the ground on the 22. Regan, Rogers. They're not getting a great deal of distance. Matt Rogers, the All Blacks will be happy enough to take the line out. Let's just see exactly the formation. Rogers jogging out to centre, and Burke. I think Burke might have gone to the right wing, man.
Well, I'm surprised at that, Matthew. I would have thought that Burke would have been in fullback and Latham to the wing.
Yeah, Matthew Burke, right wing.
First throw of the second half, it's to Jack. He pops it back. Spencer Umaga had a fairly quiet first half, but he thumps in and sets it nicely. Marshall hands it off to Mialamu. He can always be guaranteed to carry it a few metres. Now Marshall cleans it out, back on the inside to Williams. He's been in tremendous form around the field, Ali Williams. Marshall, here's the call from Spencer. And it's put down. And referee, well no, he's called the line out.
So in other words, it was tapped back. Well, that was on. That was an opportunity. Spencer came back late. They had a clean overlap on that side. The ball was dropped. She's intense.
Brendan Cannon can't hear the call for the din here at Eden Park. He's got it now though, and he finds Giffen with a good throw.
Hold.
Regan arrives.
Hold 3.
Wallabies positioning Larkin, forced onto his left boot. He's not quite so comfortable, but the All Blacks cleverly manoeuvred him onto his left boot.
So New Zealand need to score. They're on attack. They missed that opportunity on half-time. They'll be aware.
Doug Howlett from the blind side wing coming outside. Tana Umaga. All the outsides are in.
Now it's Jack again. Breaks down. Umaga has to step. Tries to slip the pass and lost it forward. He could see Collins, but the pass went forward.
Scrum gold.
Left and right. Up Al. Up Al. That's one.
No ball.
So here's a chance to have a look at Al Baxter on this side against Dave Hewitt.
Get it in.
Quite a tall tight head prop.
Oh, he twisted him there.
Now a change of direction back to Rogers. Rogers looking to get on the outside, but McCaw drops him. Copybook tackle. Ball on the ground for Gregan. Now it's with Giffen. Still looking to probe the blind side with Smith. And they've shown him the touchline. And the All Black defence is too good for that. Howlett throws it quickly. Line-out hadn't formed, so that's fine. Here we go. Muliaina gets it wide. Not such a good pass. Spencer stabs it through. Rokocoko's flying again. Latham got away from him, and Latham very nearly got away from Rokocoko again. And the Wallabies have done well to go get back. All Blacks trying to drive over the top. Oh, bad pass. Latham tidied up nicely.
Under intense pressure.
Spencer goes quickly again. Marshall hovering out in centre field. Across to Muliaina. The All Blacks trying to run them wide. Muliaina's through again. Handing off to Carey. Muliaina. And the kick just a little bit too far. But that's just how lethal he can be.
Oh, he's pulled a muscle. He put the kick through in the tackle. Well, so many referees would have awarded a late tackle there, and I'm so pleased he didn't, because it wasn't. It was a legitimate tackle. Have a little look at it. Muliaina through the hole, around the outside of Takiri. Takiri challenged. He kicked.
Now the restart. Muliaina out of the action at the moment as Major. This will come down outside the 22. Latham has that ability to break the first tackle. And Gregan happy to keep it relatively tight.
And New Zealand kicking an awful lot.
I imagine, Matt, that Leon McDonald will be warming up.
Walking right past me right now. Leon McDonald coming on. Great return for Leon after all the documented injuries that we know he's had. So let's hope that for his sake he gets involved early and has a good run in the black jersey again.
Ali Williams has gone down. I think this is just buying a bit of time.
Yeah, play. Play on.
The referee said no, we're not interested in that. Muliaina looks like he might come back anyway.
Get out.
Ali Williams is fine. That just feigning an injury as Marshall sends it across to Collins. The intensity continues in the second half. Now Rokocoko. Again Latham, who's been a rock at the back. 10-metre line Australian territory. And now Baxter.
Hold that.
Lays it nicely for Gregan. Larkham is going to kick. Charged. It's anybody's ball. All Blacks are going to get it. Or maybe not. Yes, the Wallabies penalised. A lot of them on the ground there having a crack at the ball.
Well, you'd have to take the 3 points just as it starts to rain.
What's the latest on Muliaina, Matt?
He's very determined to stay on. He's not happy to come off, but it looks as though the medics have come out. I think the substitution numbers were hanging out too, so John Mitchell was obviously very keen to get his #1 fullback off the field. And not happy about coming off, but Leon McDonald coming on now for Mils Muliaina.
Beautiful outside break and the fend. Lottie Takiri had the inside angle and the pace to stop him. But you can see him hold his leg the moment he kicked the ball immediately.
Yeah, it looks like a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Just come out.
Wonderful comeback for Leon McDonald. So he moves into the fullback position.
And Carlos looks pretty happy.
The second time I've heard you talking to him during the kick, you're shouting at him. I don't want to see any more, otherwise I'll send you.
So a bit of gamesmanship here. Takiri's having a crack at Spencer.
Spencer loves that sort of stuff. Hey, Matthew, what do you think about the chances of Spencer kicking this? Remember, he's missed the last 3, I think.
He's hitting the ball well and is continuing on in terms of the striking the ball. It's just the accuracy. They've gone to the left down the other end tonight. So I'm sure he'd love to have the last laugh with Lottie Takiri.
Straight as a die. The big smile from Carlos Spencer directed at Lottie Takiri, who would conveniently be looking the other way. And it's 18-9.
Nathan Sharp coming on for Daniel Vickerman for the Wallabies.
Down comes the rain again. Shouldn't last too long.
Great kickoff.
Taken down by Williams. Ball is there. Jack can't get it. Marshall finally does. Spencer standing outside the 22. Takiri coming forward to meet this. Straight into Reuben Thorne.
Ball out.
Pops out though for Gregan. Larkham. Sold the dummy. Mia Lamu had to scamper and make the tackle. 10-metre line. Now Gregan to Sharp.
Leave it.
Kefu as the rain continues to fall. 10 out from the 22, the Wallabies, and the referee has the arm out the All Blacks way.
Men on their feet.
Didn't release it.
Isolated. Play on.
Away goes Marshall. Gets it wide for Spencer. The kick for Howlett. Howlett leading the race after it.
Oh, the kick again. Howlett was outside him, looming up unmarked.
Torrential rain. How's it going, Matt?
Yeah, a bit more than just a light drizzle now, Nisbo, but once again the All Blacks showing that intensity, that hunger on defence, and this is it's a great game here tonight, and I must pay tribute to the Eden Park crowd. They're in wonderful voice. They're very, very noisy here tonight and very excited about this All Black performance.
Brendan Cannon's throw's no good, but it's been lost by Williams.
Hold there.
Had it for a moment. So the advantage applies here, out into centre field, and they'll go back. There's no advantage there.
So, of course, a little harder with the ball in hand now that it's raining heavily. So maybe more of an excuse to kick the ball, although there's been so much wasted possession through kicking.
Wallaby injury break. Chance for both teams to reassess. Nearly 10 minutes gone, second half. Kefu was under an injury cloud coming into this match.
Gonna go. Get the bind up, please. Crouch and hold. At the back.
Early push by the All Blacks. So Kefu takes the free kick. And it wasn't a great run by Kefu. He was half-hearted.
It was, wasn't it?
Very lucky to get it back. Now Larkham thumping it away downfield. Leon McDonald, first touch. So that's safely completed. And the kick too is not too bad. Larkham waits. McDonald's charging in. Oh, great effort by Larkham. No holding back by Leon McDonald. He was right into that one. But the Wallabies have come up with it from the Larkham take. Now Flatley with the kick. And a good contact too by Elton Flatley.
Yep. I'll get him off.
Looks like there might be another change coming up, Matt, to the Wallabies.
Yeah, he's not right, Todai Kefu. He's just been playing just not himself, and we see Owen Finnegan coming on. Just that last run there certainly showed that he's not 100, and he's walking off and possibly his last, or would be his last, Bledisloe Cup game for the Wallabies.
Well, yes, he's been a wonderful servant. Todai Kefu, his 60th Test match tonight. His last Bledisloe Cup, as you say. Rokocoko frees it up to Mialamu, and this time he can't stay in the field of play.
No, good defence, Australia.
Yes, you did. Took the ball. Get on the black 4.
Owen Finnegan, the replacement for Todai Kefu. He gets half an hour's play. Cannon goes short, finding sharp. Gregan. Here is Finnegan. Loves to run the ball up.
Ball out.
Gregan and Marshall, the old mates, in combat. It's coming on the All Black side by the looks of things. No halfback at the moment.
18.
Tana Umaga deputising in that area. Not quite as effective as the normal player, but now Spencer's knocked it on. After that heavy shower, the ball has become very, very slippery.
So it was a turnover, and then the mistake. So this is a good attacking position, Australia. They haven't had many of these attacking scrums.
What's your mark?
So it's very close in the turnover stakes.
Engage. And then.
Pretty solid looking Australian scrum. Baxter doing a good job here on the tight end side.
Oh, good move.
Now Rogers lobbing it in. Useful looking kick this. Would have preferred it to stay in.
But even so, it's deep inside All Black territory, so the pressure's on. Remember how competitive that Aussie line-out is. So where will they throw it? Will they go to the money man, being Chris Jack? Imagine the pressure on this hooker. Superb.
Good throw too by Mialamu. Back it goes to Marshall. And Marshall's kick will go safely out.
Well, that would be exactly what Australia wanted. 100% perfect. It's now their throw inside the 22.
Nathan Sharp. Cannon goes to Finnegan. No good. Collins diving in after it, but beaten to it by Larkham. Some real commitment from Stephen Larkham. Smith goes down. Oh, bit of pain there, I think, as George Smith went down. We'll have to wait and see what happens as he pops back up. No, he's up okay. Ball loose, though. And Gregan.
Play on. Leave it to Black! Black!
Wallabies still in control of it. Short pass to Finnegan. Umanga's ripped it off him. Now it's with Somerville.
Oh, desperate fight for that ball. Who's going to get it? Australia. That's a great turnover.
Now War. Inside the 22. Carried on again by Smith. The wave continues. Collins flying at Bill Young. Ball loose. And a penalty. He's got him for a head-high tackle.
It was close, but it's just a little bit high. Just keep it down, all right? Just across the neck. Yeah.
Well, I missed it.
Let's go. Let's go.
So the Wallabies having a committee meeting, deciding what to do.
Turn it around. Let's go. You've got to respond a little bit quicker, okay? You've got to go quicker. Let's go.
Interesting call here by the Wallabies. Not kicking for goal.
Well, they're putting the pressure on. They've had a sustained period of attack here, and they want to score points. And they need to. They need a try.
Let him come down.
A penalty's no good to them, really. Well, it's good to them, but a try would be better. Well, New Zealand opting not to contest.
Back on the inside to Cannon. There's the goal line, just 10 metres away. Now it's Young. Good surge by the loose head. Still going, scrapping his way down, almost there. Now Gregan goes to Sharp. All Blacks trying to hold him up, close to the line. And the referee's going to ask the television match official to make a call here. The man who took it in was Nathan Sharp.
Just check for me.
And I don't know whether either side really knows. So it's up now once again to Roy Maybank to give us a call. He's landed on his back. And how would you know? You'd have to say there's a lot of doubt about that. He's landed on his back and probably hasn't been able to wrench it down. There he is, 18. He's got the ball.
Well, nobody's claimed it. Nobody's... Oh, George Smith sort of thought about it either. I couldn't really pull that one.
Certainly the Wallabies aren't that confident. They've stayed close to the line. They'll be pretty sure that this will be a scrum.
5-metre scrum, so they've taken the line-out option. They're trying to score. Probably won't be allowed. They'll have another opportunity. You know, you never sell anything if you're that sort of... If you've got that little enthusiasm. George?
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So no try, as we expected, and it'll be a 5-metre scrum, Australia ball.
So what's going to happen? Is New Zealand going to have a go at them? That means that the loose forwards are sort of tend to hang on the scrum a little longer, which you can't afford to do. It would be folly for New Zealand not to try and attack.
Engage. Keep it up here. 3.
A lot of heat on in that front row.
Want the binder. Keep your elbow up. Crouch and hold. Engage. Okay, put it in.
Now the scrum feed. Regan up to Larkham. It goes. Larkham getting close. Now, did he get it up against the upright? That's the question. He can score up against the padding. And it's a question of whether he did or not.
Yep, I just got to see if the ball was grounded on the post.
Now did his momentum get him there? McCaw is there with him. Oh, I don't think he's quite made it. The ball is trapped under Larkham, and I don't think he's quite got it there. Let's have a look.
So Marshall just made the tackle. McCaw saved it, I think.
It's whether he's made another movement, isn't it, when he's hit this post. Right now, if he's tried again, it can be no try.
Yeah, no, I think McCaw's hand was between the ball and Larkham's body. I'm trying to talk the umpire into it, of course.
The ball has still got a way to go here. It's not there yet. Larkham himself hits the post, but it's doubtful the ball has gone to the line.
So, a line out, scrum, 2 cracks at the goal line.
Yep.
2 decisions.
He's had a busy night tonight, Roy Maybank, and it's going to be another scrum.
And another opportunity. Now, this is a huge opportunity, this one too, because if you check the blind side, they've got 2 men. That split the New Zealand defence. What a great shot.
Keep it up, 3.
Okay.
George Gregan, all the experience in the world, not happy to feed a scrum that's on the move.
No, but he was risking being penalised for not putting the ball in. It's a fine line for halfbacks, that.
Crouch and hold.
So who's going to get the hit? Oh, pretty even hit.
So much at stake in this moment in time. The Wallabies turned down the opportunity for 3 points. That was 2 or 3 minutes ago. They need to do something. Penalty. Now, what's he do now, Gregan? This is a gift 3 points if he wants it. Or does he want to carry on the momentum? Yeah, he's going to take the kick.
That was on Somerville for his bind not being up, which he mentioned before a couple of scrums ago. Kaplan mentioned the bind, but I was watching the near side of the scrum on this side, and Hewitt was definitely getting the better of his man.
Just an update from the sideline where Jeremy Paul, the Brumbies hooker, has removed his tracksuit. I think we'll see a change there very shortly as the scrum goes down for the infringement from Greg Somerville. So we'll see Jeremy Paul on for the Wallabies very shortly.
So the penalty goal is converted. Wallaby supporters, there are plenty of them here tonight, happy enough, 18-12.
Well, there was a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and in the end it netted 3 points, but closes the gap to less than a converted try. So the psychic energy with Australia at the moment. New Zealand need to recover and get back into Australian territory.
Spencer goes deep, fielded by Matthew Burke. Hasn't really felt part of it yet, so he said, give me a feel of it. Larkham in good position. And he thumps it away downfield.
Yeah, it was a great kick.
Just as I mentioned that, Nisbo, I think Eddie Jones has given out to say, Brendan Cannon, we got a good penalty there, a good couple of scrums, so he's decided to keep him on a bit longer, so he's got a little bit of a stay there for a while.
Just looking at the possession stakes, it's now swung back into Australia's favour, 53%.
Just over 20 minutes remaining. 6-point lead for the All Blacks.
Just stay out 5, stay out 18, stay out.
Nialamu's gone deep. Not a great throw. Collins recovers for the All Blacks. Now Justin Marshall. Wide to Rokocoko.
Oh, they got one! Pull out!
Spencer. Boy, the Wallabies flying up here. Williams fights his way through a couple.
Yes, he did well.
That's fine.
Well, a suspicion of offside there. Not called though. Now Marshall. Spencer. Again, dribbles it through. Sits up well for Latham, but Umanga's onto him.
The Australians are back though, now they've got possession. So in effect, that's turnover.
Rogers on his favoured left boot.
Well, it's thrust and counter thrust. It's almost exactly the same position on the field, New Zealand ball, except it's on the opposite side.
The Wallabies have had a good 10 minutes, haven't they? They're just starting to climb back into this game with 20 minutes to go. And the pressure is on in this Bledisloe Cup decider.
Dave Hewitt with the call. Lineouts have been a bit shaky for the All Blacks. They're still shaky. They've somehow managed to get it though. Spencer runs hard. Now Major. Missing Umanga. Howlett in. Dragged down by Rogers. Got up and went again, Doug Howlett. Not held. Now they've got some momentum for Marshall. Spencer out to Williams, who's been ranging pretty wide tonight. And he sets it. Marshall again. Spencer. Nice pass. Here's a chance. Howlett's got support from Umanga. Umanga.
Backwards.
They're 10 metres out. Jack. And the referee's got the arm out on the All Black side.
Gold! Gold!
Justin Marshall, now he extracts it. Out into centre field for Hewitt. He'll play the advantage as long as he can. A drop kick here from Spencer. And so no advantage. And back we come for the penalty.
Chris Jack, leg problem. This would be every New Zealander's fear.
Straight onto the left knee, it would seem. So Brad Thorne could well be on the field very shortly. Now it's the All Blacks' turn to decide. I don't think there'll be too much discussion here, surely. It's got to be a kick at goal.
No, I think he's okay, just a bit of a knock by the looks of things.
Yeah, this is a big kick for Carlos Spencer in the scheme of things as he's progressed through the 2003 season. This is a very important kick. 20 minutes out, 19 minutes out from the end of the game. Not an easy kick. He's had a couple of misses. He is certainly hitting the ball well. And this will do him the world of good and also New Zealand good if it goes between the sticks.
Noticed in the first half that Flatley tended to aim towards the left-hand upright and the ball went left to right. Let's just see how Spencer approaches it. Big kick here for Carlos Spencer. Oh, it looks good. What a kick.
He needed it, and he got it.
Big kick, that one. The All Blacks back out to a 9-point margin, which means, of course, the Wallabies have to score twice.
The change has been made with Brendan Cannon. He's been replaced by Jeremy Paul.
So Jeremy Paul on, as the kick is not claimed by the All Black forwards, but it fell nicely. Here's Nialamu. Another dynamic run from the hooker. Lays it up for Marshall. Now it's with Collins. Crunching his way up towards halfway. Taking all sorts to pull him to ground. Now Marshall. Spencer. Wide it goes and very nearly intercepted. And knocked on. as Matthew Burke takes off.
I'll tell you what, if he hadn't have touched the ball, it was a clean overlap. Let's have a little look at this. Well, it was slowish ball. Marshall took a couple of steps, Spencer took a couple of steps. By the time the missed pass came, in fact, that's why Howlett was running in front, because the ball was too slow. The timing was wrong. Well, timing was right, but the ball was too slow.
Just over 15 minutes left.
Black ball. Crouch and hold. Now.
They're nervous on both benches.
Don't shift!
Big shoved by the Wallabies, but the All Blacks have it safely. Major.
Oh,
He's lost it. Waiting for some advantage here is Jonathan Kaplan. There it is for Gregan. The advantage will still be applying. There's the kick by Finnegan. And back we come.
Scrum goal.
So only 3 handling errors for Australia the whole match. And the lineouts.
No ball. Genuinely no ball.
3 against the throw.
No. Don't go. Engage. Keep it up 3.
Larkham running blindside. Clever little kick. McDonald coming forward to meet it. Spins out of a tackle. Brilliantly done by Leon McDonald. And he sets the All Blacks alight. Rokocoko slipped over, so Spencer could see that. Didn't release the pass. Williams keen to pick it up and have a go, but it's going to be for Justin Marshall. Off to McDonald. Tried to slip it back to Marshall. Marshall.
Hold there.
Mialamu poised at the back of the maul. That's with McCaw, though. Good, solid driving defence by
Finnegan, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Hold there.
Now Thorne. Kicked rather hurriedly by Major, but it's turned out all right.
Well, he's a very clever kicker, of course, Major. But it was concession, it really was. So that points to Australia on D.
10 off.
Is Marshall perhaps coming off?
I know the Wallabies are making a change.
Yeah, great to see one of the new young stars of Australian rugby, Matt Cato, coming on, and he's going to replace his Brumby teammate Steve Larkham.
Big call that one. So Larkham goes out of the game. Matt Giteau comes in. He's a very good attacking player. The Wallabies need a try. Flatley might have gone into first 5 as Burke puts his boot to it. Waking back is Rokocoko. Now McDonald.
Well.
Now at least Latham gets to make the clearance. And the All Blacks quite happy with that because they get a throw. Still in Australian territory. Time ticks by. 13 minutes to go. Thrown short again. That's twice. The All Blacks have caught the Wallabies napping.
Well, it's a long time since we've seen an All Black drive, isn't it? Hardly remember one.
Getting a little bit of momentum. Now they go. Ball at the back of the ruck. Marshall for Collins. He only knows one way, Jerry Collins. Straight ahead.
Good defence, though.
Spencer for Major. Back to Spencer. Dips around the outside of McDonald and then plants the kick. But an easy mark for Chris Latham.
And the handover of possession again. How many kicks now?
Latham bangs it away down to McDonald's. Marshall sends it wide for Major. Drops it onto his boot. Right down the middle of the park, though. The All Blacks just trying to pin the Wallabies in their own 22 and eat up the time as well. Knowing full well that Australia still needs to score twice.
And the long one.
Marshall and Rokocoko back. Marshall has a look, decides there's nothing on, so he makes the kick. Latham waits. He's got Finnegan there. Finnegan monstered by 2 or 3 All Blacks. Ball is loose for Gregan. Throws it forward, surely. Now there's a chance for Jeremy Paul as he's hassling through. Bit of momentum now, and Smith running onto it. Oh, that's huge. Mia Lamu and McCaw together. Gregan getting it wide. Sharp. George Gregan once more. Latham throwing everything at it now. Oh, that's magnificent. This time it's Reuben Thorne. The tackling is unbelievable.
Stay back.
Gregan a bit slow to get this out. Now Smith taken by Marshall. Just in Wallaby territory. Gregan has a go. He meets the same fate. Bill Young has to play halfback. Now they heave it inside. Oh boy.
So
will they ever learn? Will they ever learn?
9 phases and they've gone backwards.
Let's have a look and see if there's any more inside passes. No, they've given that idea away.
They've given it away, but it was a great kick. Yes, New Zealand have kicked the balls 53 times and recovered it once. That is a huge
Have
disparity.
a look at some of this tackling. This is Matthew Burke. Reuben Thorne nailed him. 10 minutes left.
Well, very important line out, New Zealand.
Just give it distance out. Give it distance out.
Chris Jack, he'll be the target. Done it again. Mia Lamu runs into Finnegan.
Oh, they're gold.
Referee says play on, that's okay. Spencer now, he's got to decide whether in fact it was came back from an All Black player.
Ball was out.
Well, it was a call by Kaplan. Ball was out. It was a tough one, I think, on New Zealand.
You've got to set it up.
This is exactly what Australia need. Australian ball into the line out. They've got to secure it and get some go forward. They've had no trouble securing it tonight. They've only lost 1 of their throws all night.
So now it's Jeremy Paul looking to find his jumpers, and he found Giffen easily. Here comes Takiri. Good strong surge by Lottie Takiri. Lays it back nicely. Here goes Sharp. Wallabies only 5 metres short. Gregan again for Flatley. Chance here for Latham. Referee playing advantage. All Blacks offside. Another go at the line for the Wallabies. Almost there, but not quite.
Yeah, he was. He was on his feet. Offsides.
So it's offside against the All Blacks. And another big decision coming up here for George Gregan.
Offsides at the original movement from the ruck. You were right. You were right.
Well, Nick Farr-Jones reckons take the 3 points. They don't know. They're not sure, Nick. You better run out there and give them a message. I think I'd take the 3 as well, because that puts you in the race. But in saying that, they've got an opportunity right here now. If they nailed 7, well, it'll be 21-19. So you've got to say 8 minutes to go. No, I'm going to change my mind. I think they're doing the right thing.
Jeremy Paul, good throw. Now the All Blacks have to defend. Can't pull this maul down, remember. Wallabies, it's still trapped in there. Now they've gone to ground, so they've got to use their feet. Back it comes. Now Gregan trying to set the backside. Flatley just held on to by, initially it was McCaw.
That's fine.
Gregan up to Sharp. Desperate defence here by the All Blacks. Gregan gets it wide. Gitto fires it back, it's no good.
Well, maybe they'll rue the day they didn't take the penalty. Concerted and resilient defence, New Zealand. That was the opportunity there. There were two tight forwards out there. It was a loose pass. The pressure of...
Stay out. Stay out. Significant moment for the Wallabies. They've tried for the last 10 minutes. The All Black defence resolute.
Mialamu. Oh, easily past Finnegan. Slips it up to Somerville. All Blacks on the charge. Now Marshall carries it on. Pops it up for Chris Jack. They've gone almost to the halfway line. Marshall looking for someone to give it to. Spencer can't find it. Now he's got it. But it might come on the Wallabies side. Yes, in fact, they've got a penalty as well. Here's Smith looking to get it as wide as quickly as possible. Remember, it's advantage. Gregan.
Overlap.
Advantage over.
Advantage is over. Chance for Smith. George Smith. Wallabies back in it big time.
Magnificent try, concerted attack. Great turnover on Carlos Spencer it was. It was numbers to the ball. And then they moved it. They had an overlap. This man, George Smith. Here it is. Howlett running in between like he had to. Umaga pulled off one tackle, and Howlett hesitated for a moment. It was enough for Smith to make it. Back in the game, Australia.
Wonderful hands by George Smith. Just had to retreat back with his right hand to take that ball, gather that ball in. And the All Blacks have shown from turnover ball how dangerous they are. Well, the Wallabies still a force to be reckoned with, and the game's not over yet.
This is a big kick for Eldon Flatley. As it stands at the moment, if he misses, the Wallabies would still need to score a try.
Well, he hasn't missed a kick, has he, or not?
Big kick, Elton Flatley looking to bring it round, can't do it. 4-point game after the George Smith try.
So it needs a try. George Smith. Oh, yes, it was beautifully gathered. And then he got instant pace.
Look out, the Wallabies. We're going to throw it everywhere now.
Well, they have to. Spencer. Claimed by Finnegan. Just got it. 3.5 minutes left. Bledisloe Cup matches have been won inside that time, plenty of times in the last 5 years.
So New Zealand line out. What's the line out count? 19-13 in favour of New Zealand.
Big throw for Kevin Mialamu. Williams down the back, but it's Reuben Thorne.
So New Zealand trying to drive. Soaks up time, but it also cuts down the margin for error. Secures possession.
It's got to stay moving. It's doing that at the moment. Got to be aware of the touchline too, which is close. Wallabies are a little desperate. Now Marshall grabs it. Spencer.
He's onside. Get out, the Blacks!
Howlett coming through on this. And it's claimed by Phil Waugh. So the Wallabies back in possession.
Away, Black! Away, Black! Hold there.
Very slow. Now Gregan. Latham. They want to get down the other end and try and launch an attack, but that's not such a good kick. Off the side of the foot.
So New Zealand mixing the lineouts up. Confident to throw it to Reuben Thorne the last time. If you've got that many options, of course, it makes it harder to contest. Where's the point of the throw?
Reuben Thorne again.
Twice in a row, you never read about it.
The captain standing up in the last few minutes. The All Blacks again just trying to run the clock down.
As the crowd will them on.
Here goes Dave Hewitt. Ball is there. Came forward on an All Black foot. Now a chance out wide for the Wallabies. Rogers belts it away downfield. Oh dear. Hangs his head. Bad mistake.
Well, twice he's done 2 kicks. He's done 2 kicks in a row, Matt Rogers, and the second one, the bad option out on the full.
This may well be the last line out of the game. Enormous tension.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
Thorne and Jack. Thorne again.
He caught it on the fly.
They've dropped it to the ground for Marshall. No, they've knocked it on.
Come down, goal ball.
All Blacks appealing to the touch judge. That's not going to do them any good.
I think the touch judge gave the call, and Williams was telling him.
So the Wallabies have one last shot at it. And they're inside their own territory.
Engage.
Regan. Away for Flatley. Trying to get it wide. Umaga chases Latham and drops him in a good tackle. Now it's Gitto. Into referee's time now as the Flatley goes. Flatley breaks. Fires it back inside. And it's a forward pass. Knocked on, in fact. The crowd on their feet.
Everyone's on their feet.
Waiting to hear whether the siren is gone. How would you know?
Can't hear down here.
Game is over! The Bledisloe Cup is back in New Zealand.
Like a war. To the victor goes the spoils, and the spoils is this huge trophy, huge competition, huge rivalry between the two countries, and huge respect.
You can see what it meant to the All Blacks. Doug Howlett got the 2 tries. Real emotion and elation. The Bledisloe Cup won by the Wallabies back in 1998 in Christchurch. It's taken that long to get it back. And it's been one heck of a battle here at Eden Park tonight. 21-17, and the Wallabies stood up tonight. We didn't see the limp effort from Sydney. John O'Neill not exactly over the moon. Chris Moller not giving too much away, but he'll be absolutely thrilled. And some real emotion out there. Reuben Thorne, boy did he stand up. Those last 3 lineouts, he took them on himself, and that's, I was going to say 1 trophy in the cabinet. It's 2, of course, with the Tri-Nations, but with the greatest respect to the Tri-Nations, the Bledisloe Cup is what the All Blacks wanted, and that's what they've got. 21 points to 17 at Eden Park. The Bledisloe Cup back where it belongs.